Holy, where the hell is Sean? Welcome down to the Chain Dogs podcast. Welcome to our 50th episode. Sean is on his way. Just put that out there for podcast listeners. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome down to the show. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, chat. Really appreciate it. Do me a favor, give this video a big thumbs up. YouTube likes it, and it puts us up there with the other podcasts and stuff, and we really do like that. And if you are listening on Spotify, you will be listening on Spotify soon, I promise. We will get there.
We've been slacking so bad with that.
Sean is nearly here.
Sean is nearly there. He's here in spirit. But yeah, no. Happy 50th. Thank you to everyone who's been watching from day one. We really appreciate it. How is everyone doing? Mikhail, how are you doing? How's your week been so far? All good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. Just hanging in there, just steadily getting my life together over here.
Yeah, man.
I can't really complain. Like, Vancouver is Narnia. I'm convinced this place isn't real. But yeah, I'm surviving and
good.
Trying to get my life in order.
Awesome, man. James, you got any exciting news you want to share with us?
Tim Hortons is opening Gravesend. I got Tim Hortons.
We're literally turning into Canada, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm slowly converting the podcast.
We've got Adam there. Happy 50th. We've got everyone here. Of course, Mikhail is wearing.
That's the biggest news.
Of course, I am, Mike.
Over and done with, isn't it?
What else would you expect of me?
Evening, Sibby, got Dark Shadow, we've got Sean, obviously, we've got Roller Baz and Coast Dad. That's hard to say. We've got Coast Giants up Matt. We've got Karen. We were playing Pictionary the other day, and something said giant, didn't it? And
yes,
I drew like your logo in Pictionary, and everyone was like,
"Oh, very well."
No, I didn't. No, but we don't have to talk about that. Hey, Ads, how's it going? And hello, Mark. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Like we said, we've got quite a bit to talk about, and we've also got a Scare Amazing recap as well. And I'm sure when Sean gets here, we'll be talking about all different mazes he's been doing, because he's been on an absolute tear at the moment with content. So if you haven't, go over to Parkspill and check out all of the vlogs that they've been doing, because they've been putting in a shift. So props to Sean.
I was going to say, going crazy on the content, and just earning a shit ton of living, by the way.
Just going for it.
Dude's been working like 9 days a week.
Yeah.
I think he's become.
I am wearing Coaster Box brand new merch. It does glow in the dark, but I won't turn the lights off. But it is fantastic, lovely and comfortable.
I think Sean has become a pirate.
Yeah,
He's
why?
spent a lot of time at sea.
He has.
Ferries.
Either that or he's bought a ferry. He's just going ferry shopping. All right. That's something you do, isn't it?
He's in search for the One Piece.
I love how we're all wearing such
on the Grand Line. He's searching for the Grand Line.
Speaking of the sea, shall we talk about SeaWorld's pipeline coaster? Let's just throw that one in.
He said, I am a ferry.
I am a ferry. The chat on here is slower than the actual chat on YouTube.
That's how I've got
YouTube up.
I've got
the chat properly.
Yeah, I've got
Boaty McParkspill. Everybody name Parkspill's ferry. Please get that done in the comments. Let's hear it. Let's hear names of Parkspill's ferry. But yeah, let's talk about SeaWorld's pipeline coaster. Obviously, the new surf coaster from
What have
B&M.
they got in the pipeline?
I don't know. That's I should have gone with that one. That's a good one. You can do the segues from now on, Mikhail.
No, don't put that pressure on me.
So you bounce basically in your seat. Well, not in your seat. You stand up and bounce.
A lot more comfortable than.
It looks more comfortable than Shockwave. Not throwing hate at Shockwave, but it's not comfortable.
I mean, Shockwave. I was warned by Matt is when you lock your restraint, don't go up. Purposely go down and get it to lock at a lower position.
Yeah, don't tiptoe once that's locked. You
Painful.
yeah. Nobody asks for a new stand-up. It's not a stand-up, it's a surf. It's different. You bounce.
The
bobble along.
bounciness does look more comfortable.
It does.
My legs
it
ended
does.
up going flying when
Until I had seen someone. Until I had read that someone said, "I hope it doesn't bounce with your knees locked in place." Like,
ooh, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how comfortable it would be then.
no,
I don't think your
not
knees would
good.
be locked.
Imagine, because you're already going to have sore feet if you like. Say from my experience going to Orlando for the first time, I went through like 4 like pairs of insoles. Like I was just buying it every time I went to Walmart or Target. I was like, new insoles, let's get them. They will make me last longer. But like going on a ride that makes you bounce with your knees after like being, if you end up going there on like one of the last days of the trip, that'll be brutal. That will be brutal. But I don't know. It's a weird one. The coaster itself looks stunning. It looks really nice. Sharksville.
I love it.
Dark Shadow. There you go.
You
Karen
are being
says,
questioned on
what?
what.
Oh, it's a Galaxy projection thing from Amazon. It was like 16 quid. I had it ages ago, but I've just not plugged it in. It looks cool, doesn't it? I like it. It's like a sea life center going on around behind me.
Sharksville.
Oh my God, Sharksville. You need to do that.
Is a fan.
You need to change your name, Sean, on Parkspill Shark Week to Sharkspill. That's
when is Shark Week?
There's a demographic there somewhere. I don't know. It was when I was in America. I think June.
Do you know what's hilarious? I got a story about that, right? So I went to the Caribbean.
Look at you, Narnia in the Caribbean.
No. This was ages ago. This was over a decade ago. But like, I'll never forget this. I went to St. Kitts. That's where my family's from, right? Over in the Caribbean, and I'll never forget this. We were in a restaurant like right by the beach, like literally like it was on the beach. Like went to this restaurant for dinner one time, and apparently it was Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, and they were showing shark documentaries like on the TVs in the restaurant. I'm like, are you taking the piss? Are you trying to scare people off from going to the beach or something? Like, what the fuck is this?
You know your clientele wants to be at the beach.
Yeah, like what are you doing?
That's brilliant.
That's fantastic. Wow. Was it like the proper like old ones as well? Like, you know, where the aspect ratio is cropped in on the video and it's
maybe
it's not in HD and
but literally they were just
chunk
like
out the surfboard.
It was like shark documentaries on it, and whenever it ended and switched to something else, there was like advertisements for Shark Week like on the Discovery Channel.
Giant jaws.
Do you know what? You understand where you are, right?
Yeah, like, that's mint. That's mint. It was, yeah. I don't know. Like, the coaster layout itself looks good, looks fluid, looks solid. Does it need this gimmick? I don't know if it does or not. Like, it looks good. It looks like a good ride. With the launch system and everything, it looks like a great coaster by itself. Does it stand out from anything else in Orlando? Maybe not, but we'll see.
I don't think it's meant to. I think like on the side of B&M, like it's very in my opinion, I think it's very clearly just supposed to be a prototype for a model that they might develop further in terms of what they might do with it in like with elements and layout design like later on. Whether or not parks will want this in the future remains to be seen. But I also think that on the side of SeaWorld, I think they just have no idea what kind of coasters they want to create, because they've now got 4 B&Ms in this park. I obviously don't know what height restriction this is going to have, but it may be maybe a couple inches lower because it has vest restraints. But they now have 4 B&Ms in this park, and a quote unquote family coaster where a lot of kids are going to be too short to ride it. So like I don't think they have any kind of clue what kind of target audience that they're aiming for with, or just how they want to make their coaster lineup more well-rounded or anything. But
what would you say it's
going to be
like? What target audience would you say that coaster is for? If you had to say,
well, it'll kind of depend on the height restriction. Like I'm.
Let's say it's 1.4. Let's say it's 1.4. Let's just go with that. Like, does that?
Well, 1.4 is 54 to 55 inches. So like it'd be the same as Kraken. I can't remember. See, I'm not too small for any coaster, so I don't really pay attention to height restrictions like that.
And you've not got kids, so you've got
exactly. And I don't have kids, so I don't have to. I don't. It's not something I have to give a whole amount of attention to. Like, well, with Busch Gardens' B&Ms, the ones like Montu, Alpengeist, Kumba, etc., they're all 54 inches, so like 1.4 meters tall. Apollo's Chariot is 52. I'm pretty sure Kraken would be 54 as well then. I think Mako is like 52 or 54 maybe, or something like that. With the vest restraint rides, like the B&M wing coasters, they range from like 51 to up to 54 depending on the park as well. So it's like it's gonna be somewhere in that range, whether it's like 50 or 54 or 55. I'm just speaking on like it's gonna be like 1.2 to 1.4. So it's gonna be like adults and like families with, you know, older children.
Yeah.
And it's like it'll like just going I suppose a little bit away from that, like it's gonna be a fun ride, and it visually it looks
gorgeous.
Like, it looks gorgeous in the renderings. Whether or not SeaWorld is going to go through with the beautification of the presentation remains to be seen. I mean, Emperor still exists, but
they were asking for what kind of plants people wanted to be planted and stuff on social media the other day about it.
Oh well, I didn't see.
Yeah, they did. But, they put a tweet out. It's like, what plants would you like to see? Christmas something or something else, and everyone was like, "Oh, these because there's less maintenance and that kind of thing." I saw a little tweet about it.
Maybe. I feel like there's a very obvious aesthetic to go with there in terms of just slapping down palm trees everywhere, and like the coaster is right by the main lake in the park anyway, so like it's easy to go like for what they should go with to make it look good, but like like I think it's gonna be a fun ride. It's not one that makes me want to go to SeaWorld any more than I already did. Like that's still Mako, and to be honest, more like. And Manta as well. after the last ride I had on that shit, because I forgot how good Manta is.
That pretzel loop is just another world.
It's so good, especially in that back row. When you get whipped into it, it's so good. It's so
good. You get pulled down into that hard off the back. That is ridiculous.
But looking at the ride hardware for Pipeline a little closer, like just I am interested to see, or maybe I'm also just intrigued to see how that seat and the tech behind the seat setup, like how that's gonna feel. Jokes aside about like, oh, we didn't want to stand up, or whatever kind of jokes people want to make. Like I am interested to see how that's gonna feel. Like, and I think the elements complement the tech pretty well. Like they're not super forceful or like force inducing. Like you can tell, like the airtime moments aren't. You're not going to get RMC into mid-level airtime on any B&M really, but like it's not what they're trying to. It's not what they're trying to generate.
B&M as well is
exactly.
True.
It's exactly any prototype B&M. Right. Yeah.
I mean, the Swarm was a happy accident. That was
look at Air.
It could have been a lot more forceful, but it was tamed down a bit and just more graceful than forceful.
Air/Galactica now is absolutely hauling ass. It's been hauling ass all year. It's so quick. Like if you get
maybe they need to activate that trim finally.
No, they don't. That is one of the best moments on the park now.
Never.
That dive into that turnaround by the car park now is one of the best moments at all towers at the moment. It's going that quick. I love it.
Yeah, I remember those rides we got on it on opening weekend, and it was giving airtime over those little bunnies towards the turnaround. Like,
which is unheard of, really. It's never really produced that much air. It's never like it's aged really well. Like not aesthetically, but it has aged nice. Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how people react to this coaster as well when it's actually up and running. I think people are going to be. It's going to be weird. It's going to be bouncy but graceful. It's because B&M's are graceful as hell, right? They're graceful as fuck, and that's what they're known for. They're so.
What I found funny in the
can't wait for the slow-mo footage of that
in the promo from the park is that when it showed. Like, and I understand this is just to show what the tech could do, but like when they showed the seats bouncing, did you see how fast they were bouncing?
Yeah,
like, going up and all that. I don't think they're gonna bounce like that in real life.
Can't wait to see that in 120 FPS slowed down. But you think the big one's jolt's bad? Wait till you see this.
Looking in the comments, Ad said looking forward to it running one train and having 12-minute dispatches because SeaWorld.
That is very
so all right. So when I was at SeaWorld, right, I was trying to get photos of Manta, like riding Manta again, and being reminded of how good it is. That was so good.
Yeah.
Mate, trying to get photos of this thing. Oh my god, they were even running 2 trains as well.
Yeah,
dude,
it wasn't.
I'm talking 5 to 7 minute dispatches. Yeah. I'm like, are you taking the piss? Like, I couldn't. We were trying to get off to Universal, like after spending the morning at SeaWorld, and I was like, I said to my friend Sam, I just want to try to get some photos of. I was getting photos around the park, and I wanted to get some photos of Manta as well, just before we left.
Which is not an easy coaster to photo anyway.
Like, exactly. No, it's not.
Times.
And like I was like over just by the station, around the lift and the pretzel loop, trying to get photos on the drop and everything. And it's like, this is fucking taking forever. Like I'm trying to get photos and bounce. Oh,
you can do next year.
I was trying to get photos and get out, and it was taking fucking forever to see trains come around. I'm just like, eventually I was just like, all right. Like, it's taking too long. I ain't got the time. And just
first
like,
shutter, let's go, right?
And like, you joke about that, like, 12 minutes of actually on one train. Like, fucking, this is. I don't want to go too deep into this because it's a whole. Like,
I know it's
other issue and everything.
It is an issue. Yeah,
but like, it's and this has been the case for a good few years now. It seems like Seas is investing all this money into a bunch of new coasters at the SeaWorld and Busch parks, and it just seems like the parks are thriving now because they're getting coasters left, right, and center. But at what point are they going to fucking start investing in internal personnel, paying their employees what they're worth in comparison to how much competing parks pay their employees, and investing in the guest experience and investing in the employee experience and investing in just the logistics behind the operations and everything that will enable employees to do their job to the best of their ability to ensure guest satisfaction and return visits. And it's so evident now that they don't invest anything into that, and they're going all into cost cutting schemes and seedy and sleazy money making schemes, which is why you see like 5% surcharges in small print on signs and shit.
All day dining starts from 11. That's
exactly. Like,
I'll never let that drop. Fucking, never letting that drop.
That like fucking, you'll see like 1 or 2 restaurants in the entire park open. The rest of them are closed. Like,
or open for like an hour, 2 hours, and then closes. Like,
it's just like when I keep saying, like, when are they going to turn the corner? Like, they're showing no signs of even wanting to turn the corner.
No, not in that respect. No, but what they're relying on is these big investment coasters to draw people in. Once they're in the park, it feels like they don't care about you once you're in.
Right.
Like getting you in, I find it more inviting through the marketing and through talking to through social media and stuff and people about SeaWorld than actually going. Like it didn't feel inviting when I was there. When I was in Orlando getting ready to go, I was really hyped. And then when I got, it just fell flat. It just fell really flat for a park. And I don't say that lightly because I love theme parks. You know, I love them. It's why we do this podcast, you know. But it just fell flat. Like I thought Flamingoland had more about it, and that's saying something. The amount of shit I've given that park.
I was gonna say
like that is saying something.
I don't know if I co-sign to that, but I understand the point you're making though.
Yeah,
like, and
it's a very similar, like it's a balancing act, isn't it?
And the thing is like, put my bias aside, because obviously I've worked at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I have a sentimental connection to the Busch Gardens parks as a whole and the SeaWorld parks as a whole because I used to work for the company.
Absolutely.
Put all that aside. It's just disappointing because of the history that the SeaWorld parks and the Busch Gardens parks has had ever since the 90s. They used to be
it's the whole reason I went.
There used to be such a well, like in the midst of you, obviously the Universals and the Disneys of the world, they're right at the top, and then you've got the Hershey parks, you know, the Silver Dollar City and Dollywood get lauded over and everything. Busch Gardens in the Anheuser-Busch days and the SeaWorld parks were that middle ground, but not so much in the sense that they were the forgotten middle child. Like at the top, you got the Universals, Disney's, at the bottom, you got Six Flags, etc. But like they were that more affordable option that people could go to for a high quality, albeit not obviously not as high quality as Universal and Disney, but a high quality themed attraction experience.
Which is why they built B&Ms, because they knew it gave high quality and reliability. And consistency. And
they built a reputation on the quality of the themed experience, combining that with thrill rides as well.
Mega thrill rides, like B&M front page brochure thrill rides.
Yeah, and it's just like it's just so disappointing. It's so disappointing. If they had been on the level of the type of experience that you'd gotten at Six Flags all these years, then I wouldn't care. Like I wouldn't care as much, because like when I look at Six Flags parks, I can go to Six Flags parks and have a great time and stuff, but my expectations aren't that high in terms of what the park can offer me. I'm just going for rides.
Yeah, what they've got there is what you're going for, not what they
like. I'm literally just going for rides. I'm not going for, you know, like top of the industry, guest satisfaction, or like really high quality themed experiences, or really high quality.
You're going for an RMC,
you know, like
you're going
exactly,
for the next thing.
Exactly. I'm going. Yeah, like I'm doing that. Like my expectations quality wise aren't that high. My expectations quality wise of Busch Gardens and SeaWorld parks over the years have been high, because that's what I've been presented with every time I go there.
Yeah. And
now to see like under the current leadership and ownership, just to see that quality drop so substantially with no signs of it ever turning around under the current leadership, it's just like, what the fuck, like I might as well just fucking, you know, go 20 minutes up the road and just spend my time at Universal then.
Or Fun Spot.
Like, or Fun Spot, where my expectations definitely aren't as high. I'll still have a good, like, memeable time. Like,
I was out there during half term.
Just go marathon like White Lightning and shit.
Yeah, well, I was there during half term. I didn't see the ride, didn't see the coasters move once at Fun Spot. Like, it was mad. Like, I didn't see them move, and we were back and forth on them roads, and we were going past Fun Spot, and I never saw them move. It was weird. It was like they just were open or something. Like it was really strange. But I could see like the Skyflyer going and like all the different rides in between. But the coasters, I never saw them go. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, I kind of felt like they weren't even open when I was there. But see, someone who's late to the party, someone who's late to the party of going to SeaWorld parks, and to go into America to proper theme parks, Universal, Disney, all that kind of stuff. It was a massive step down from what I'd experienced the rest of the holiday, and I think that's what left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. The rides, I said this when I came out, the rides were fantastic. It's a shame they're in that park, like it really is, and that's a sad thing. Hopefully, this new B&M is a hit, and it actually turns out to be like an amazing ride experience. People come off there really excited, and who knows? But
I don't think it's going to do much.
I
don't think it's going to do much to move the needle in that sense. Like, I don't know. Like in terms of amplifying the quality of like that park of what that park has to offer right now. Like, I don't think it's going to do much. It's going to be a fun ride. Like, and how much more than just that it will be, I don't really have much expectations.
No,
But anyway,
I'm looking forward to some elements on it. I'm looking forward to some elements on it, like the airtime launches and stuff, like stood up. That's exciting to me. That's pretty cool. There's an inversion. Is there a zero G? I'm sure there is.
There's a corkscrew on it.
Corkscrew, yeah. So on Shockwave's zero G, obviously it's the only one in the world that does it. You jump. it's a literal jump. You're jumping upside down. It's crazy. So to experience like a full-on corkscrew with that, like, because obviously Shockwave's corkscrews are very snappy. This one looks like it's a nice, easy roll over it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see. I reckon it will be a more comfortable experience. It has to be. Technology's moved on now, and trains have moved on, and
well, that's clearly what they were focusing on in its development.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
Hence the vest restraints on it as well.
Absolutely. What do you guys think in the comments? Let us know in the chat.
Hopefully they're comfortable for women as well.
Yeah, heard a lot about that. Yeah, we had a couple of people on.
Women don't have a great time on rides with vest restraints, but like hopefully they're taking steps to accommodate for them.
Yeah, I think. So talking about another B&M, let's come back over here. Sorry, Mikhail, we'll come back over here now. Chessington Water Adventures.
Well, that's my time then. Right, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, the Bacoma's being built now.
Yeah, it's definitely Vekoma.
It's definitely Vekoma.
Disclaimer: we are aware that it is a B&M.
It's a B&M. It's a B&M. A B&M's being built.
Well, you say being built; it's pretty much already up. Like they don't have much track to put up, do they?
I've not seen any recent photos from today. Have you seen some from today? Is that actually more of the layout done?
All
I've seen is the
station.
Yeah, but that's not nearly done then, is it?
Considering the amount of track they have to.
If you compare it to Tron, then yes. But
I've seen supports go up like around the Jaguar, which by the way, like upon looking at closer photos of that Jaguar statue, it looks fucking great.
Yeah,
it's looking better now that they put the vines.
It looks really nice. Like it's really well detailed and everything.
Still looks derpy to me.
But it'll light up at night for the 4 times a year we get to see it.
I saw the picture of it didn't look like it was see-through to have a light in it.
It will have. Gotta have.
But yeah,
it might just be a light.
I feel like it's just too small for where it is. It should have been bigger. But yeah.
Yeah, projection here. You mean the Golden Horse knockoff with the B&M track?
I just read that.
Love that. Stand-up flat rides exist. They're mostly vile now. Yeah.
They knocked off the flyer. They'll knock off a stand-up as well.
Golden Horse. Here's the Golden Horse. There you go. No, I'm excited about the opening day for this coaster. I think it's going to be great. The new area as well at Chessington looks stunning. The size of the area as well took me by surprise a little bit. When Attraction Source posted some photos, they were of high quality as always, so make sure you follow them. But it was you could see the back where the supports were going in. It's massive. It's huge. It's a huge expansion for Chessington. I don't think people realize that. And then when we get there on opening day, people will be like, "This is big. This is This is a big
I
area.
still can't wrap my head around the decision to go with a B&M shuttle wing coaster as
that
opposed to
is the most bizarre marketing meeting. How they sold that,
bro? The Intamin launch, the Intamin quad multi-launch family coaster was right there.
Yeah, it was.
The Jumanji themed, the Jumanji Jeep themed Intamin quad option was right there.
Yeah, you already had themed it. You literally just had to buy it.
Literally.
Yeah.
But,
do you know how
it was?
Do you know how, do you know
it was
how
custom.
well, do you know
it
how
was
well
preset
done
model
that
1. Preset model 1 in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Just drop
Legit.
that. Done.
Do you know how good of it? Do you know how good and logical of an attraction that would have been?
That's the problem.
That would have made so much sense.
No one likes logic anymore.
It would have made so much sense.
The thing is, though, like I feel like Chessington can pull this off. Like,
yeah,
I'm not doubting the quality of the attraction.
It feels like it's going back more towards what Chessington's roots were meant to be.
Yeah,
which was Chessington was the thrill park.
Terms of
but
at this point, like at this point, like why would you?
A lot of kids now would be more open to doing bigger thrill type rides.
Right.
He was there, wasn't he? He was pitching this idea to them.
Yeah. We're like, you're getting a B&M show.
All them kids that aren't coming back from down the road, right? They're older now. We need an inversion. Cheers, thanks.
But no, like, because
were you in those meetings, James?
The park kind of lost all of its like ability to have that transition up to doing proper thrill rides when they got rid of Ramesses Revenge.
Yeah.
That was the only ride that inverted there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A lot.
And
it
Samurai.
Inverted a lot. It inverted
Samurai
a lot.
was there.
Yeah, Samurai. Yeah.
So a lot of the rides that would work as that transition, this actually does fill that gap quite well.
Yeah.
I agree. But Ads makes a good point.
No, you're not wrong there, to be fair.
I look forward to the height restrictions ruling out most of the park's audience. I mean, they can't do. Right, it's got to be.
I feel like it's been an adapted train.
To James's point, what height restriction did like Ramesses Revenge and Samurai have? Like when were they 1.4s?
Was there?
I think they were 1.4. I think Ramesses is a 1.4. What was
Ramesses was 1.4.
Yeah, there you go. And it did genuinely have the shortest queue as well. Already confirmed to be 1.4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought they were trying to get it to 1.2, but well, there you go. That's replaced their 1.4 ride that they did have.
That's the point I'm making. Like, I mean, I don't know much about the reasons as to why Ramesses.
In a way, I'm not mad.
Was removed.
Well, Ramesses Revenge was just getting very tired and old.
Yeah, so like, not necessarily because of lack of ridership, just more so because
it did have a shorter queue, but there was always people going on.
It would in that park, comparatively speaking, but it's not like it was
where it was as well. Was next to Toon Blaster. It was next to a family attraction. So it's in a family section.
Sure.
Maybe this Jumanji is the leap forward for Chessington. Then maybe this is them dipping the toe back in, like James said, into the thrill market. I can't see this coaster being that thrilling enough, though.
I think it is meant to be a transition coaster.
Oh, they're tall enough to go on this now. They can go on Jumanji, whatever it's called.
Yeah, with an inversion.
Yeah,
it has a spike, right? Like, it's a shuttle. It'll have a coaster spike. No. Not that I'm talking about.
Yeah, the back end actually goes over vertical.
I was about to say it has a beyond vertical spike, right?
Yeah,
so with an inversion and a beyond vertical spike, like that's just whatever to us. Like, it'll be fun, but to your 12, 13, 14-year-old kids who,
first B&M,
right? Yeah, like that's going to be something for them for sure.
The thing is, as well, a lot of kids now,
maybe not 12, 13, 14. They're probably already on a thought by then, but more like
a lot of kids now are hitting
10, 11,
1.4 sooner.
Yeah,
as well.
Ooh,
like that
is this a stat?
It is a thing like that has been tracked. Like puberty
people are
is happening
getting taller.
earlier. Just as a general rule now, so kids are growing quicker.
Yeah.
And reaching that a bit earlier, so kind of makes sense for
sure.
timing. Makes sense on replacing
Never even thought
what
about
they
that.
did have in terms of the 1.4.
It was sad to see Ramesses go.
It was.
I will be a bit disappointed if this isn't as thrilling as Ramesses. But it's not going to be, is it? So I'm going to be disappointed. I'm looking forward to seeing another standout Merlin roller coaster in the UK because it is going to stand out. I mean, it's got the theming budget to it clearly of like, let's say, almost like Wicker Man. It's a big structure and it's a big investment. And it's think about all the merch that's going to come along with it, and think about it. They've only just done Croc Drop, and that was a big investment, and that was a lot of theming. The whole ride is basically theming based. It's just a massive crocodile with a little cheap drop tower in it. So this is big. I think this is a lot bigger than what people are giving it credit for.
I'm definitely going to be more interested in how it's gonna look and be received as a themed attraction more so than a coaster itself. But
I don't know. I think this has got potential. If coming off that spike's decent, and you hit that inversion at a nice decent, say like swarm pace, not swarm pace, but like the way it takes it gracefully, and then going up this random spike.
Sorry, I just saw Matt's comment.
It's going to be.
That's what I was laughing at.
Matt, I was 1.4 at 5 years old.
I'm going to say you was one. Yeah, they didn't have a doorway tall enough to stop measuring you, like when you was a kid. Like the marker ran out before.
There you go. Scott said Baz is 10 and he's cleared Thorpe, Alton, and Phantasialand.
Wow. Well, there you
10.
go.
So
yeah, that's 10's probably right for Chessington, right? Top end. Because you think about it, Towers is probably more aimed at kids with CBeebies, right?
That section definitely is.
That section at least.
Well,
I'd say Towers does
like that.
I'd say Towers does the best job of offering, having a comprehensive enough offering to where everyone has something.
Yeah, the most space and the more variety and experience you can have in one place. That's what I would say Towers is for anyone. Even if you like flowers, go for a walk in the gardens. Like, it's a popular thing. A lot of people do it who live there. They go around the gardens and just walk around. That's it. But I think with Chessington not having the Gruffalo, fair enough. But Bubbleworks was a small ride anyway itself. That was for kids itself. Apart from the fart machine. It's not got that area. It's not got that secluded area in the park just for kids. So this is going to be, you come off Vampire, you jump on Project Amazon, whatever it is. What's it called? Is it Amazon? Yeah, it's Amazon. You jump on Project Amazon, and then where'd you go next? Well, you go to Thorpe, don't you? You head to Thorpe, and then that's how Merlin are using this. They're probably using this attraction as a stepping stone up to get to Thorpe from Chessington.
Yeah.
Hey,
happy 50th, Sean.
Hey.
Happy 50th.
Get the beers out.
How tired are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, mate. I can't even describe. Like, mate.
Are you even registered legally alive?
Yeah.
I don't feel it.
His soul is in a scare maze somewhere.
Yeah, man. Oh, my God. Yeah, the last month has been just insane. Like, it's just been mental. But
this is why we haven't updated Spotify in however long now, just because
I know
it's been 84.
This man's been traipsing around the country, filming everything in his path.
Drunk Riders dubbed you in, mate.
Oh my God, I was talking shit about you.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I was
talking shit about you guys. Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm just happy I made it.
200th episode and shit.
Yes, we have. I've been trying to draw these topics out for like I've been stretching these out like Haunted Mansion stretching room. Like this has been going on for a while now. But yeah. So what do you So you're here now, quickly. Mm-hmm. What do you think of the pipeline coaster at SeaWorld? What do you like? Have you seen the render with it bouncing?
Yeah, I think you know what? People are shitting on it, man.
Yeah.
But I like stand-up coaster. I've only done one stand-up coaster, which is obviously Shockwave.
Yeah,
I love it. I just think it's different, man. And I think people are looking on this bounce a little bit too much. I feel like it's going to be more like a freeing sensation. Like you're going to be able to. It's going to go with your body. It's not just going to like bounce around.
That's what I said about the rendering, because it shows like the seats like bouncing up and down like real fast. And I'm just like, I don't think it's gonna bounce that fast.
I don't think it's gonna just be like around. I just feel like it's gonna have a lot of tension on it, and you're gonna be able to just. It's gonna counteract what people say Shockwave does to them. You know, if you do it incorrectly. Yeah, you know, for guys, obviously, it can be quite painful. And some women say that as well. So, but no, I'm all for it, man. I know I was listening to it in the car, and you were saying like, I don't know if it's much of a pull to get me back to SeaWorld. For me, it would be. I'd be really interested to see how that goes, because it just looks like a nice. It looks like, I don't know. It looks like a cool coaster. Good layout. I think it looks pretty chill. I don't know if it is going to be chill, but
might need some chill afterwards. Like,
it's just like
the old ice pack out.
It's not getting me back to the park any more than I like. I mean, like, I'm gonna go to SeaWorld whenever I go to Florida. Like, it's like whether I'm going to spend a whole day there, that remains to be seen. But I'll go there for a morning, or I'll go there for an evening, and you know, I'm gonna be back, so I'm gonna ride it. And I'm interested to see what it'll be like.
Joe was the one who told me to do this, because she was like, lift your feet up on this.
Jump.
Jump
into it.
And it's like, if you do an inversion on stand up and you jump, you just feel like pure weightlessness. Like it's the most insane feeling. So now that's what I do. So when I'm on Shockwave, I pretend like I'm surfing. If like James was saying, make sure that you lock yourself in lower than you actually need to be.
Than higher.
And then you can kind of almost like go with it, and then you lift your feet up as you're doing it. It's insane. It's crazy.
It is mad. But so quickly then, because we'll just touch on it because we were talking about it. Chessington, what are you thinking about Amazon so far? How that's looking?
I mean, I'm kind of indifferent to the coaster itself, as there's still just too many questions for me. It still baffles the hell out of me how that's
is it back-to-back seating? Is it?
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
I just can't see Chessington not changing something because they have an issue with capacity. Let's be honest, they do have an issue with capacity,
which is weird. You know,
so
they do have a lot of rides. If you think about it, they have quite a lot of rides.
And alluding to what John Wardley said, he said that they have done something really smart with it. So I'm still looking. I just don't know what to expect really. Well, I know what to expect from the layout, but how it's going to differ, how intense is it going to? Is it actually going to be intense, or is it what? I don't know. But like you guys were just saying before, come on, it's going to be all to do with the theming. Croc Drop. You can do that same drop tower.
Yeah, that was my point. That was exactly my point. Yeah,
but that stood out so much just because of the theming, and it had the storyline and everything going through it, and it was just done really, really well. But I'm just excited. To be honest, I'm just excited overall for the UK because it just seems like we're getting lots of investments.
Yeah.
And that's just what we kind of want. So for me, it's like a collective thing with this, with Legoland getting a new coaster as well, and all the stuff that's happening at Towers. It's cool. It's just really
Can we talk about the fact that Legoland is it Legoland in Germany, right?
Oh,
it's getting a B&M wing as well.
Oh, that tiny little B&M. Oh. That looked like something I'd make on like.
There's about to be a B&M
RCT-free wing
in a Legoland park.
RCT-free wing coaster, not tall because you can't be asked raising the catwalks every square when you put in custom catwalks in the supports, and then you just do like some weird turn off, drop down into a hole. It doesn't even look like it does much. Like, why does this have to be that? How much was that coaster? Like, it looks like it was a lot of money to do what a Vekoma, family coaster could do. Like,
but it's got to be like multi-buy deals, isn't it, man? think about how much.
Oh yeah,
how
no,
much
we-
1000%,
We
yeah.
did
with-
discuss that, didn't we? So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you've got the one in China as well.
Mhm.
Was it the one in
Yeah.
China, and then this one, and then obviously it's not B&M.
And
wonder if
I
that's-
don't know.
Oh, I
even
wonder if that's
from-
the Chessington one
Yeah.
then. If it's
Yeah.
that's the free, that could be the free.
that could be it.
Potentially.
There's probably something else that someone we forgot about, but like, and also just from a business point of view, like, if you want a coaster that is up and running the day
That's
it
gonna
opens,
work.
it
Can be
gets
built
people
correctly.
through, gets people through it. You know, that's what a B&M does to you. And if you get some kind of deal on it as well, because you're going for like almost like prototypes, I'm sure B&M are doing, because the B&M aren't renowned for like, they're expensive. They're not renowned for being like, oh yeah, we'll chuck this in, but I feel like because they're going
free baby
Yeah,
wing
yeah,
coaster
yeah.
with every fourth purchase. There you go. Put that in one of your parks.
Yeah,
You buy one, you get one free. It's like the Safe Style UK has it.
yeah.
Such a power. You get one free.
You
Such a
have
power.
You get your front, you get your back, absolutely free. Ring bell.
Yeah.
We're saying that the company that IAPA has a booth, like you have to go in to see anybody. It's like an office room. It's like a meeting room. A meeting.
Yeah,
pod.
literally,
What,
like
B-
every,
what,
other,
B&M?
every other
B&M.
company
Oh,
IAPA
yeah.
was just like these fancy, like, oh, look
Yeah.
at what we're doing. And B&M was just, you know who we are.
I think I've got
Yeah.
more on my wall than what B&M had on their booth.
It's literally
I-
just,
I had the
here's our
most-
glass office. Come in.
I had the most awkward interaction when I was at Barcelona.
What happened?
B&M. Everyone else is just like really friendly and stuff, and then B&M went up to him, and then the guy was just like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, really? So busy? Yeah." Like that's it. And he was just like, "We're booked up for 10 years." Just like stone cold, like.
In
I'm like,
the
"You
back
don't-"
of your mind, you're just like, why are you here?
Oh, so I was like, "Okay, sorry." And then
That's
just
kinda
walked
like
Lucky
away.
rides, lucky rides. Well done.
That's kind of like when I was at IAPA in Orlando last year, and like just obviously just walking around, I see the Intamin booth, and a bunch of us go over, and we're having like I see them like having conversations and stuff. Like Daniel Chopin was there, and Sasha as well, and I'm just like, oh my god, Intamin's right in front of me. Like the guys from Intamin are right here. I should go over and talk to them. And then a second, and you know when you have that secondary voice, and you're just like, what the fuck am I going to say to these guys? It's just like who am I to them?
So, the ending of Velocicoaster.
and I'm just like,
whose idea here was that? Like,
I just started thinking. I was just like, what could I possibly have to say to them?
Yeah.
To make me a memorable conversation for them. Like
The
they've
thing
done
is,
everything.
I'm pretty
like,
good. Like, I've been doing like business networking for like over 10 years now. It's how you like build a business up. So you can just make you're able to make small talk out of nothing. Like,
right.
But when just someone like makes like zero,
just like, zero effort.
I was like,
whatsoever.
I was convinced that this guy was just security. Like, he wasn't even from there. Like, it was just there, security in a suit, just being like, "Go away, nerd."
And the craziest thing is, they've probably been booked up for the next 10 years. For the past 10 years as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, drunk riders, like B&M is that drunk old millionaire who doesn't care. They just
B&M literally
just,
play golf, don't they? That's what
I
they do.
mean, to be fair, you got to remember, like with IAPA, most of it is for them to network inside the industry as well.
yeah.
With other people they know. So obviously,
just maintain relationships at the very least.
Having meetings is a great place for them to have whole meetings, upcoming projects and things like that. So that's what it's mainly used for. And I don't blame B&M for doing that, because I just wanted to geek out at the end of the day.
You want to maintain a bit of professionalism, don't you? And I can't imagine it costs them a whole lot to set up a booth.
Not for them. I mean, it costs a lot, but it doesn't cost because they have a swanky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For them, I don't imagine it costs a
frosted
lot for them.
glass
So
box.
yeah,
It's like so minimum. It's like so not.
so
Even though it's
minimalistic,
not like,
isn't it?
it's like just
It's a
nice.
council office's meeting pod. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
That
what
they
it
spent
is.
so much money on that they
Yeah.
now can't afford to do anything
On the
else.
19th floor of a building that's hollowed out because of a record somewhere. Why?
Yeah.
The council buildings.
is that all you've been talking? Is that the two? Have you been talking about anything else?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
So, what else we got? I've not even got an agenda. This is really weird.
Have you? Well, you've been on your travels. Have you seen Intamin's vertical launch thing? It's in the chat. They're doing an LSM vertical launch. If nobody knows.
To be fair, I saw this thing this morning, so like I don't blame you if you missed it.
Yeah, it looks like they've got a new marketing team because the render, the graphics, the music, everything. It looks really good. It's what was rumored on the Smiler, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah, I'm watching it now. Should I just should I share it?
Yeah, you can do if you can.
Okay.
Show on screen. Oh.
There are much better versions of the video.
Gives you an idea. So for podcast listeners, it's a launch that basically goes vertical.
Vertical LSM.
Just realised I'm hearing this epic music and no one else is.
Yeah, no one's hearing it.
I'm like, so basically,
sensation.
Yeah.
Go vertical.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was interesting that they
it's a concept.
Are like actively pushing this marketing and advertisement wise now, because there's the they showing it right now, just the new installation that they put in a park in somewhere in the Middle East. I think it's in either Dubai or Abu Dhabi. It's called Storm. I can't remember the place of where it's at, but it uses that tech, and I mean, with LSMs they've been able to, it's like we've seen LSMs on airtime hills, we've seen them on valleys. Like it was only a matter of time before they put them on. They put them on vertical track. I find it kind of interesting that they've chosen now to really push the advertisement of it on like social media platforms and stuff. And I can't it has been said, I don't know how official this is, it has been said that Intamin has has nothing to do with the renovation of a certain launch coaster over in Ohio.
That's a lie.
I can't help but think I'm not gonna jump to conclusions. I'm not gonna speculate too hard on it, but I can't help but think that I can't help but wonder. Sorry, I can't help but wonder if we're gonna see this pop up on Top Thrill Dragster. So
I want to see Top Thrill Spike.
Yeah.
Swing launch. Everyone gets a rollback.
Everyone, let's call it Top Thrill Dragster Burnout, because obviously there's a burnout spin. They have to go back to the start of the race. To
be fair, they might even just be like, "Oh, do you know how everyone loves getting a rollback? Like, let's just do rollback the ride."
Yeah,
let's just
that's literally what we said before we started recording.
Yeah, it's just like that's what they want.
Nah, but you're right though. Like
LSMs, we can't make it over, but let's just give them a rollback. Let's just do it.
Literally, when the TDR boys, the Drunk Riders, talked about it on one of their episodes, they mentioned just like the concept of the swing launch, like if that was to be a thing in the renovation. Can you imagine just it like taking the airtime hill? Like if they were to include an airtime hill, you imagine taking that airtime hill over at like 100+ miles per hour.
Fun times.
And then like that launch section is long as fuck. Like I got to thinking. First of all, when they said that, I got to thinking. Instead of an airtime hill, what if they put a roll on there? Like the really low to the ground roll on that new Mark launcher over in China.
Yeah.
Yes. Like it's supposed to hit that at fucking
the one that shifts.
Yeah, the one that don't half shift, mate. And then like I was just like, what? Like launch track's long as shit. Like on a swing launch, You have that thing coming off of the spike at the back, and then it hits the airtime hill, and then a roll, and then the top.
That was insane.
Like, could you imagine what they could put together in that swing launch concept? The different kind of like ways they could differentiate it in between the launches and stuff. Just that'd be insane. That'd be unfathomable.
They have a massive opportunity now, don't they, to do something special again? Like, this ride was special when it first came out. Topfield Dragster, you can't deny it. It was groundbreaking. It was record breaking.
It's one of the most iconic coasters.
Exactly. So they've got an opportunity now. They probably didn't think was ever going to come around, and it's probably come around a lot quicker than they thought.
And again, like I don't think that I have. I'm reserving thoughts and opinions on what I actually think they will do. But I know what I would like to see.
We can all speculate. That's why we do a podcast. Like, it's if we talk facts all the time, we'd just be RCDB. It wouldn't be, it would just be Sean reading out on a stream. That's
just read up the weird coaster news. Yo, you should bring that back to the weird coaster news videos.
There hasn't been any like really weird coaster news. Like, that kind of like just fell off, didn't it?
You need to re up that series. I don't even think he hears what we're saying anymore. Like, he's not even in the room.
Yeah, you're talking. Sorry, I was just reading.
He's reading RCDB for his next stream.
I was literally reading the Chain Dogs chat to see if there's a scheduling like agenda.
Pipeline. Well, we got it pretty close. Pipeline goes to SeaWorld. Welcome to the party, Sean.
That was actually very.
Yeah, I got it bang on. Wow, nice. Yeah. So we you a lot of people have. But you specifically, Sean, have been to a lot of scare mazes over the last 2 weeks.
We've done over 11 scare events this month.
Wow. I've done 2.
Yeah, I've done 1.
I'm
one, fortunately.
I'm an addict to him. When I start going with him, I'm like, I want to do it again and again and again.
Yeah, and you've done the ultimate. You've done Halloween Horror Nights as well.
Yeah,
before it all. So
that was a great way to kick things off. And you know what? Doing Halloween Horror Nights was so good to do because even though like they are epic, it makes you appreciate like some of the events we have over here. Because
everything that goes into them.
There's just a lot that we do better than Halloween Horror Nights.
I've heard. This was going to be my next question.
Yeah. What was it going to be? Next question.
Just weighing up, because now that you've done what is very frequently lauded as the best Halloween theme park Halloween event in the United States, if not on this side of the world, and then having done so many of ours, like, how do you weigh them up? Like, what comparisons do you draw? What do we do better than theirs? What did they do better than ours? And just all of that.
They're so different to each other. Like, there's some similarities. Like, there's some like scare parks. That's what we call them, scream parks, not theme parks, scream parks. Over here that copy certain elements of like Halloween Horror Nights. So you know, a lot of places now use fire everywhere, and it's kind of like you can see. I wouldn't say I say inspired by him. But then there's some things that like
standard, isn't it?
It's that standard of like creating a bit of atmosphere around the parks, and we're seeing that like pretty much everywhere over the UK parks now. I mean, even Chessington's using pyrotechnics in their Halloween shows now. I need to go and check out Chessington's Halloween. Hopefully, it can fit it in. But there's just like the thing is, like, with Halloween Horror Nights, it gets so busy that they have to do the whole like conga lines. But they do it so it's a constant, but it doesn't when you're in the Halloween Horror Nights mazes, it doesn't feel like that because they're just packed with so many actors, and they do this thing where it's like each actor has a standard scare, which is do one scare, go back, reset. They're almost like a living animatronic. Like, that's literally what they do.
I watched the walkthrough of the Halloween house, and every scene in that, what I saw, I watched 5 walkthroughs, I think, of people who went there, and it was the same thing, same actor, same place.
But it's good. It works for but that, and also because Halloween Horror Nights, they do like they love to like have like 3 scares in one room sometimes. So like you see someone get scared, and then your natural reaction if you're in the UK is like, oh no, they're scary now. Sounds like suddenly it comes out, comes out of nowhere. So they've got the timing down to almost like perfection. But then if UK parks do that, it's stale because they haven't got the amount of actors and just sometimes the creativity. So there are some parks that do that over here where I'm just like, what I think UK parks need to double down on really is what I think we do best, which is like improv scares. So doing like impact scares where it's like really creative, but let the actor like roam a bit. If it's too formulaic, it just once you've done one maze, you can predict everything else. And then once you've done it's okay if you're. This is the thing I'm talking about this from someone who has done a lot of, I mean, there's loads of people who've done more than I have, but like say if in one season you do like more than 3 scare mazes, you start building up like a resilience to scares. So you're just like things aren't as scary anymore because you've just done so many of them. So you just want that. So
is there a sort of? Oh, sorry. I'll
carry on, mate.
No, I was just going to ask. Was there Is there a sort of? This is what I've heard about HHN in the past in terms of the scares in their actual mazes. Is there a sort of an intensity to them in just how frequent they are? Like that's what I've heard about some houses at Halloween Horror Nights is just that they're so not necessarily maybe not necessarily rapid fire in terms of just like you're getting hit one after the other, but like there's a certain frequency to it. And obviously it differ like depending on the house and like depending on just like how well done they're set up and stuff. But just like the sort of intensity of the mazes.
Right, it's like I said here, like it's consistent with scares, and I think it has to be. And that's literally what I said. And it works for Universal. It doesn't work over here. And there's some Scream parks I've been to this year
because there aren't enough scare actors to be able to deliver.
Yeah, they're just doing these formulaic scares, and I'm like, you don't need to do that because even though you might have big queues, you haven't got Universal queues. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then once you. I'm not naming names because I just don't want to like. I'll start a massive debate on Twitter again, and I can't get bothered with it. I'm too tired. But anyway, there's some Scream parks that just do this like really formulaic, like boring scare, and then it's just over and done with. But it works for Halloween Horror Nights, just like you say. They know what they're doing. They're creative scares as well. So we went to Dr. Fright's the other night, and bearing in mind, Dr. Fright's has it's basically constructed in like 3 weeks, and it's a tent in the middle of the field with a series of other tents. And I'm not kidding you, the theming is not good. It's literally like you feel like you're in someone's backyard and garden in a tent.
Oh, I remember you talking about this on Twitter as well.
And honestly, they're some of the biggest scares I got because they were just so creative with it. Like, so there was this one scene. It was like I can't remember what it's called now. Was it something a Mad Men? It was basically like different scenes from horror movies. And then there's like an exorcist room. And so it was going around this bed. And obviously we're all staring at the bed thinking there's going to be someone's going to come out of the bed. Nah, it just come down the top for the ceiling. And this girl was just like on top of us. And it was just like so scary. There was this one other scene where we're walking through like there's loads of ghost faces, and there's this one this is like a sheet in front, literally a white sheet, so simple, with a cut out circle in it, and you can just see a Scream mask behind it. And I'm like, well, you just think, oh, okay, that's enough, that's just a Scream mask. Rips it open and then comes out at you, and it's like inches away with like a knife like that. And it was like, mate, it was just so scary. And I was like, considering we've done like massively themed, a lot of big themed, that was like one of the biggest scares I've had this year.
That's great. And that's fantastic.
It was just, it may opens your eyes up to be like actually how important just like setting up the scare. Because I always say it, like it's not, the scare isn't the impact of being scared, it's the run up to it. And then once
Anticipation.
Once you're uneasy, where you don't know where things are coming from, the maze is suddenly so much scarier. Even if there's no more actors in there, you just you're just on edge. But if you just have like 2 squares where you just like, I saw you a mile off, you're just standing there like that, you start being like uncomfortable with this. So I don't know. There's an art to it. But yeah, we went to a fair at Avon Valley last night. And that was really, really good. It was low on scares, but that's just because we've done so many of them now. But like they just think outside the box with their mazes. So like, spoiler now, might want to mute it for like 2 minutes. But we did the core, which is their new maze for this year. And they have 3 mazes that are all interlinked with each other. There's like a prequel, a sequel, and then like the third makes like a trilogy. And you didn't have to do them in order, but if you do, you get like a running storyline through it.
Wow, nice.
Which is really cool. But this one was like literally you go into the maze, they make you put on waders, like fisherman waders.
I was wondering what their images. I saw Claire. That I went to Screamfest with.
You get given
waders.
You get given a torch, and then you go inside and you get this like pre-show of a guy being like, something's uneasy down there. We need to go down there now. And you're meant to be working there. And because you're in waders, you're like, I feel like I'm on a shift here.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're descending down, and suddenly you're in the sewers, but you're up to your knees in water. So you're wading through water while getting scares. And it's just like, that is just insane. Like to even come up with that concept and go, we're going to actually like implement it was just mental. So it's like things like that, which is like really, really cool. And it's just,
sounds amazing.
It's just crazy. Like it blew my mind a little bit.
What was the obviously with that you've got to be proper safety conscious with water and public and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how did they go about that? Like could you tell like it was formulated in different spots and stuff?
In what way do you mean?
Like when you got the scares and the setups and stuff, like you were using the water, was it was it predictable or was it?
It was quite predictable, because basically there was like 3 sections of water. So you go into the sewers. You was in the sewers, and there was like almost like cages either side,
right?
So like arches, and then cages, and the actors were like behind cages. There's only one actor that like come out, but they stayed like really far back.
Oh, okay.
But it was just the fact that you had like a little torch, and it was just like pretty dark and stuff. And that made it really creepy. But then you would come out the steps, go around, and then you'd get some big impact scares and then go back down into it. So so it was just like it was really
scares
cool.
On the stairs.
There was one instant where we was coming up the stairs and this actor just jumped out, and I literally said to him, I was like, mate, no scares on the stairs, because I was like, that's the most dangerous place, especially if there's like water right behind you. So I did tell an actor off, which I don't usually make a thing off, but I'm like, chill, you know what I mean? Like, chill there. But no, it was a really good night there. But yeah, it's one of them where we've done a lot of good stuff. Warsaw Scare Maze again, knocked out the park. It's twice as long. It's like a half an hour experience now, that maze is.
Oh wow.
And it's like it used to be just through like kind of they'd build their own walls and stuff, but now they've got like a massive warehouse, so they've got like double height walls and stuff, double the height, so they can make massive set pieces, and it was just incredible. That was really good. We did Night at the Manor, which is Drake Manor's first ever like non-kiddie scare event. Which,
I couldn't get down for that. Gutted. Invited to it, but couldn't get down, unfortunately.
It was really fun. It was really fun. I know there's been some like negativity about it, that some people have done it, but I really enjoyed it. And it's like it's a first year. Do you know what I mean? Like it's their first year, and for what they did, the Haunted Express, which is an audio experience with headphones, but going around on the Pearl Pyro Express, and then the actors on there, and it all synced up with. It was really cool. It was really, really good. It was so fun.
I was so confused by the name of Night at the Manor. So I was like, are people spending a night at like the Drake Manor Hotel?
Well, that's
I was
the
wondering
thing.
if the hotel was
Some
involved.
parks
I was just like,
have done that before, haven't they? Where they've done like
Yeah.
you stay in a hotel room and you are scared in that room.
Towers did
Yeah.
it.
People.
I was about to say,
will
did
come.
Towers do that?
Yeah, Towers.
Yeah, they
it,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did it like you could
Field of
literally,
1,000 Screams or something like that.
I think it's actually where Attic is now, is where you actually stayed in
yeah. Yeah, they did
yeah.
that, but they did it out of Scarefest season, didn't they? They did it as an actual event. I think Pete did it. I think Pete stayed over in the Towers. I'm sure he did.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the Attic. The Attic wasn't there at the time. Like it was just like, but it was, you stayed inside the manor. Sorry, the manor. You stayed inside Alton Towers. It's in the towers themselves, but it was like you had beds, but then like big sheet cloths, didn't you, either side of the bed?
Yeah,
and then that's what it was. It's like
right,
you were part of like this ghost hunting team, and then you went to bed, and then I think you left at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have loved to have done that.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Like that.
I was not into scare mazes back then. I was terrified of them. So no way would I have done that. So
have you done Burton Screamfest?
We're doing it on Sunday. No, Sunday, this Sunday, and for an event that is 25 minutes away from me, it's our first time doing it.
Really?
So, which is crazy. Yeah.
Be interesting to see your reactions.
Yeah.
Hear about. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Have you done it? Did you do it this year or was it previous years?
Yeah. So we did
Scare
Mazing. So
obviously
went up for Scare Mazing and went to Drayton Manor the day before.
Yeah.
And then very literally the day that I went to Burton Screamfest was when we decided that I was going to Burton Screamfest.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was like,
wasn't we playing golf? Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to Burton Screamfest today."
Yeah,
he's playing mini golf.
That was like us at Drayton Manor, not in the Manor. Like, I think like Abby and Nicole from Parks and Pints were going that night, and then we were just like, "Oh, we're only down the road from Warsaw. We might as well do it tonight as well." And suddenly everyone was like booking onto it, and then we just went from Drayton to Warsaw Scare Maze. There was like flipping 15 of us or something. Just took the place over, and it was it was just such an impromptu thing. So pretty cool.
Dark Shadow, I agree with that. Insomnia was very good.
Yeah, don't spoil anything.
I'm not spoiling anything,
even though I've just spoiled it for people, but I did other things. But
no,
I want to
tell them to mute.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Have you
the entertainment there as well is actually really good. Like,
it sounds really
band
good.
on Evs.
Yeah,
they had a hillbilly pole dancer. That was very
nice,
interesting.
Sounds about right. It's funny how spooky season is also like somehow now like sexy season as well. Like everyone gets sexy.
Spooky sexy season.
Fire, leather, pole dancing. That's
I feel like that's been a thing for years with Halloween parties at least.
Oh yeah, with Halloween parties definitely. But it's just like basically, I mean the bloody Nightmare Fuel.
I was literally just about to say,
it's a full on like BDSM show basically. So. Yeah, it's good. But no, enjoyed it. What did you guys scare amazing? Good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Very enjoyable event.
Yeah. It was really good. The behind the scenes of Mind Tours was phenomenal. We got Kieran for that, so he literally walked us all the way through, explained every room. Was better than the attic. I think we missed the group with the actual tour guiding because we were just like hovering around, weren't we? We were looking at all the props in the attic, but Mind Tours was something else. Like to see everything that went into that maze was spectacular. All the ideas and how they go about. It's got the massive rat runs, huge rat runs that are like
honestly
they run into the fucking ruins, like like they're in the back.
They like the obviously I've spent a lot of time in these mazes out of season the last year, and Mind Tours that is such a well thought out maze in terms of like rat runs about where it goes and stuff. And a fun fact about that is when Subterra was Subspecies. When Subspecies was running, the amount of they're so close together, them two mazes are, that a lot of times like Subspecies people would come out and go into mine tours and vice versa. Like it's like there's
just
one
swap
corridor.
actors for a bit.
No, it's just like actual guests.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Because there's like one corridor that separates them two mazes. So it's just mad. I know that place at the back of my hand now. It's crazy.
Imagine that going into one maze and then coming out from a completely different.
Yeah.
It'd be great, man. Can you imagine just one long maze of like going around mine tours and then going in the old Subspecies route? Like it'd be so good, man.
It'd be cool. It's very similar to what we're doing with VTO. Me and James started we got the attic plans that were on the website, and we basically built the attic wall for wall, and it was amazing how it blacked out the actual windows in the towers perfectly, like how you'd see it in real life with them doing it. And that was cool. But we're coming out a different way with our maze. It's a bit creative actually, but won't spoil it. But
did you guys do the invitation?
No,
I did not.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I just thought like people have been feeling that the invitation was a very sexual vibe. Hashtag suck my finger.
Yeah, I have heard about like what happens in the invitation. Yeah, it does sound very questionable.
I don't know. It's just I couldn't bring myself to do it. And I was like, I can't justify it. Like
what is I said it on Twitter, and what is so surprising about, because it didn't scare me. I was like, yeah, chips. What you been eating? Chips. If you know, you know. But yeah, like I come out thinking, I don't think many people will like it, because I think Darkfield are great, but I think it was like in a theme park setting at like where they have mazes. I didn't know if it's the right fit for it, because people go expecting one thing, they get another thing. But when I've done a Darkfield attraction away out of a theme park, I've always been really impressed. And like those, like technically it is insane, like what they do. Like it genuinely, it's not just people go, you can just wear headphones and do it. I'm like, no, it doesn't. The headphones are like next level. The actual like audio mix is just insane. It does genuinely feel like you're in the room. That sound is coming from there. It really does a good job of tricking your mind. But when in my vlog, I was just like, it'd be interesting to see what other people think about it. And there is people who have genuinely said, Matt's one of them, saying he thought it was like one of the scariest things at towers. And some people have, because that sensory experience is quite scary to some people. But so some people have really enjoyed it, but that's a problem. People are expecting a scare maze, so I don't know. It's a difficult one, but I think if it was you know, Thorpe did it with Terminal, you know, it was just something else about added on, and I think it's quite cool to offer something else. But we'll see.
Thorpe it was a separate thing to do, whereas Towers it was included in the combi.
Yeah. Oh no, I think Towers it was included in the combi.
It was in the combi on Towers.
Yeah. I think one of the main reasons why we didn't do it as well is that we was on a pretty hefty schedule. Like
you guys.
It was very busy that day.
I'm glad I experienced it, but it is like a one and done thing. It's like you've experienced it, you're never gonna experience anything different. Whereas with Amazes, you're always probably gonna have different. You're always
like you said, Sean.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think if I'm going to experience Darkfield, I'm going to experience Darkfield. I'm not trying to be an Alton Towers, scare attraction. I think I'd rather experience it as their creative.
I'd rather go down to the one Canary Wharf and try them.
Yeah, just try their actual thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Because the queue line for the invitation is stunning at night as well. Like it's like they've gone all out.
Like
because like
from what I could see,
because you would have seen the start of it. You look down there, you see like the little graves, but round the back of it, they have like massive like tombstones. They have crypts in there. They've got like an angel of death in there, and then like what Simon Allen did with the audio. was really cool. Like it was very Terror of the Towers type of like the Sanctuary vibes. It really took me back there. But you know, I just can't wait until we get a new maze and see what they can do, because look how far they've come on. You know, even Darkest Depths this year looked better than it's ever looked. Like,
Darkest Depths was another level this year.
Yeah,
it was a million times better, more actors, and it felt more refined. And
the team that are there this year are so good. Like
amazing.
I've done that thing so many times.
Yeah.
And I got lost at one point because it was so full of smoke, and I was like, "Where the hell am I going?"
Yeah,
and they were relentless. Like the fact that was started off as a kids' maze.
Yeah, it was darker as well. No pun intended, but it did feel darker in some areas. Like they'd taken a bit of light out in some of the areas, like from the cannon room down past the Kraken and onwards. It felt a lot darker, a lot more sinister, and the scares back and forth were great. The actors who were in there that day were phenomenal. Like I've never had a run through like that, and I've had a behind the scenes of that maze, so I know exactly where everything is, what to expect, where all the triggers are, and all that kind of stuff. And it was like this just totally surprised me. Like we just done, we did Mindtoes, Attic, and then Darkest Depths, didn't we? We did Darkest Depths last. So we'd already had 2 great run throughs in the previous mazes. So I was like, okay, Darkest Depths. It's just a great maze to look at. It's aesthetically pleasing. It's a bit of a laugh as well with the captain as well. I said I was lucky to be there. That was quite funny. And then they just fucking ruined us. Like all the way around. Just got ruined. Got destroyed.
I did enjoy Matt's scare in that maze that he told us about.
Oh, right,
where his the main scare he had in that maze was himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was walking down a hallway and there was a mirror, which he didn't realize was there.
I've had them scares before.
It's clever.
Yeah,
it's very clever.
You know what? There was a really clever scare in Halloween at Halloween Horror Nights. That was you was going. It's when you went into this one bit, because obviously it's in a massive soundstage. They made the entire house from the first Halloween, like the actual house, like full story.
That's cool.
And then you go down the side of it, and there's all these sheets hanging up like on a washing line going down. And as you go through, you see him, like Michael Myers, at the end. And then when you're going towards him, he's like walking towards you, and you're like, "Oh, it's coming, it's coming." It's actually a mirror, and he comes to the side of you. Like it's the craziest. And I was like, it's so simple but so clever.
That is clever.
Yeah, but it was really, really cool. By the way, I just want to show that Kuka. A lot of people know that Kuka we've been one of our clients for many years, but they give me a little Kuka.
Oh, you got a little robot.
Kuka robot.
Nice. Check that
got
out.
A magnet on the end.
No, it's just
like a magnet.
It's fully articulating.
That's so cool.
If so, imagine that, but bigger. That is forbidden. That is Forbidden Journey for you.
Forbidden Journey, yeah.
It's not this exact model, but it's just this model, but bigger. So
yeah, that's mad.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, I'm really proud of that now.
So are we done with Halloween now, or can I join back in now?
Yeah, you good. Welcome back, Mikhail.
Let's talk Coast. Yeah, we lost a lot of viewers then as well. I think a lot of people didn't care about it. But yeah, what else?
No,
what we're talking about?
I haven't done any, so yeah, I couldn't. I don't got much to offer.
What were we talking about?
What was I gonna? It's fun, but I'll leave it out. I was gonna add to the but we talked about it briefly before we started recording. Phantasialand.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I received word about it from someone that I know who is very, tapped in with everything that Phantasialand and Europa Park do. He used to work at Europa Park, but he's very tapped in with Phantasialand as well. He's confirmed that Phantasialand are bringing back their Tiempo de Fuego fire show.
Yes, they are.
That they do at Wintertrom, like right on Chiapas's splash zone.
Yes.
at Wintertron. That's coming. They haven't done it for the past couple of years because of COVID, but they're bringing it back this year, as far as I'm aware. And
yes,
it
looks amazing.
I'm not salty at all, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
This happens to be on when we're going in December. Yeah, it is. It's on when we go. I'm looking forward to it. Another thing to add to the list of things we have to do. It's just that park just keeps giving. I can't wait. I'm excited for that. Just to see that whole area as well. I remember seeing. I think it was when Sean went and he threw up a picture of a pint next to Chapas, and I was like, that area just looks.
It's stunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I can't wait to do like Wintram and stuff. But like that area in like the summer was so nice. Like it was so good. Like, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. We had a majorly hot day as well. Raveburg.
Nice.
Oh, don't say too much about that projection because these boys are still yet to experience that, and they want to go in blind as well. So
yeah, we want to go in blind for that. We know of it, but we don't know what it looks like. We don't know what happens. So
they want to have as close to the experience that me and you had when we were there, like because we didn't know it was a thing when it happened, and it borderline wasn't a thing. They were just testing it.
That's amazing.
But yeah, if you guys get to catch that, you're in for a treat for sure.
Well, we should do. We're staying at Charles Lindbergh, so it's like we should definitely see it.
I'm trying to find it. Apparently, the stuff about Tiempo de Fuego has been added back to the website now. For this year, so they are definitely doing it.
Nice.
Just trying to find the page.
That's the one thing that was missing from my Wintertron trip last year. Like, Fantasyland was already my favorite park before that trip, and then just that trip just solidified it more so than like that's good. I can't think of a park that I haven't been to, let alone that I have been to. I can't think of a European park that I haven't been to that I think I will like more than Fantasyland. And that's without the Tiempo de Fuego show.
I think this podcast should be called Fantasyland, the podcast. Fantasia, like
the Fantasyland dogs.
It will be. It will be towards the end of December.
It's becoming like worse than Valhalla now.
Yeah, it is.
Because nothing's happening with Valhalla, Sean.
It is listed under the.
And I would much rather have a frequent Fantasyland segment than a frequent Valhalla. whether it opened or not.
No. No, that is a subject though. I mean, well, speaking of that, just quickly, like Blackpool Pleasure Beach drops their new merch.
They put on a fashion show, guys. They put on a fashion show.
Amanda Thompson went full on, I'm having a party and you're all invited kind of thing. That's what she did. And it was like, there was everything. Like, and Valhalla merch was part of that. So they must be close. Lol. I don't know.
They probably just got a load of stock and was like, we need to actually sell this, guys.
Yeah, we need to get rid of all this because we're not opening until 2024. What? I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
it's a shame.
Amanda still said she's determined to get it open by the end of the year at Upper, so we could be having a December. No, it's not going to happen.
We're not having a February opening, but we're having a December opening.
Yeah.
Weatherspoons, get ready. Helvet Coaster, get them barrels full.
Well, I just want to say.
Yeah, go on. What was you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna mention. I don't know if we've touched on this before, but like the Blackpool's opening for next year. It's not in February anymore, is it?
Nope.
Like it's
same.
Has it been confirmed? Has it been confirmed the same weekend as Towers?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Like it has been confirmed. But
I will
say this. Someone from the park, I won't mention names, and I don't want to get people in trouble, but someone from the park did reply to who like works pretty high up at the park. Replied to someone on Twitter and said about the situation was like, who's to say there won't be a special opening weekend out of season though? Winky face. So they could actually, just like open up for like a random weekend out of season.
Oh, okay.
Basically, that's what I'm getting. That's what they said.
Well, I was kind of just thinking, like, why, like, what's to stop them from just opening the weekend before Towers? Because then they could capitalize on still being like
the only park open. Yeah.
While also giving them maintenance guys enough time to get everything ready.
Thing is, there's been a lot of people saying like, "Oh, this is good for Pleasure Beach. It gives them a lot more time for like upkeep." I'm like, yeah, okay, I do understand that, but also, I just want to go get drunk in February in a really cold, damp Pleasure Beach with hardly any rides open. Like, kind of like that. Like, it's good, and that's the reason why most of the community get together. Like, it's a big thing. To just discount it and be like, yeah, but it's better for maintenance. Like,
well,
okay,
that's the thing as well. Like,
it's a big event, like for us. So can we just moan about it, please? Are we allowed to moan about it?
They'll have
something I really enjoyed has been taken away.
It'll be shown in their analytics next year if they don't open in Feb. They'll be like, shit, we made a massive, massive problem there.
Well, to be honest, from a business perspective, it won't arse them, because if anything, a load of enthusiasts turning up to the park is probably a bit annoying, because
it's not though, is it? You've seen the queues in February. They're around the fucking block. They are around the block, and that's not just enthusiasts. That's
I don't know.
Everyone who's been waiting to go to a theme park.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I do think.
I'm just saying, from the perspective of like, from our perspective of wanting that weekend, because like I was kind of the same, just like even though there's like next to no chance of me getting back over there next year. They were just thinking, oh, we can't, like, we're likely not going to get everyone together at Velvet Coaster anymore, because people are going to be wanting to go to Towers for opening weekend, and likely Thorpe, because Thorpe will probably be opening that same weekend as well. That's what I'm saying. Put it the weekend before, and we can still get everyone together the weekend prior to the Merlin opening weekend, and still have Blackpool opening weekend. We can still get Mortal in fucking Velvet Coaster.
Yeah,
that weekend.
I think they're still
in slightly warmer weather as well.
Velvet Coaster's still open, guys. Just throwing that out there.
I'm not going all the way up there just for Weatherspoon.
Just for Velvet, like... just for a Weatherspoon. Could you imagine?
Can you imagine the vlogs the day after?
Imagine going, not even
see Ice Blast through the gate. Anyway, Velvet
Birmingham. People like Claire and Bobby that come from fucking other side of the country. 5-hour trip up to there just to go to a Weatherspoon.
Yeah, why not? Well, let's find one in the middle of the country then. Like, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I know a fair few people who they bought a season pass solely for opening weekend, because it's like it's 3 days. It's 3 days, you know.
Yeah.
So they like, it makes sense. Like, you'll make your money back if you get it in the sale and stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
They would have lost some money out on the season passes, whether or not. I don't know. I'm guessing from them not doing it in February. Sorry, gassy. Them not opening, it makes more business sense to them. Like Matt said, it obviously probably just doesn't actually make them a lot in terms of like getting everything ready, like how much it costs to actually just run a park, especially with like all the, all the price of everything going up and stuff for park. Parks are also suffering from the energy crisis as well. So maybe it doesn't, but that still doesn't mean that I can't be like, I want it to open in February, just so everyone is in one place. It's just such a good atmosphere. And it
would have been a proper like post COVID event as well. Like it would have been like the biggest one, because people were still a bit worried about going to Velvet if you had COVID last year.
I mean, mate, I don't know if it could have got bigger than last year's, because we got thrown out of Weatherspoons upstairs.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the most insane
that has
thing
happened
ever.
before. That has happened before.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that
we
was
ran out of beer. We drank.
Well,
them dry.
I do agree there. I think a lot of people also saw how many people were there last year and was like, that looked fun. I wish I'd gone, and then they would have done it this year.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
people who
I
were
would have
nervous
tried to go up.
because it was just like, literally so many people. Like
It made me want to do it again.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like it was
Lots of fun.
Yeah, one of them things that hopefully will happen again sometime. But hopefully, like I say, there was a cryptic tweet from someone from Pleasure Beach saying, who's to say there's not going to be the odd weekend open, winky face. So there still might be something. If they do, then that props to Pleasure Beach for recognizing, because they're only opening for us, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, we'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm not writing off completely. Yeah,
Nah,
now I saw that
yeah,
tweet.
maybe not, but it's still like, let's be honest, their communication this year has been shocking. Nothing short of shocking, to be honest with you. It's been a very big letdown. Like they usually are a standard as well, and they've just let a lot of people down this year with how they've communicated with people. That being said, they've obviously been busy behind the scenes because, you know, rides have now gone into maintenance. Grand National's been down for a while now, hasn't it? So all that's been done. Valhalla, that's obviously a very long-winded subject. I think they must have had, I would say they've had over 100 meetings about that ride. If I had to guess. It just probably just keeps coming up, and it's just one of them that's like, we need to get it finished. Yeah, we know, but we're doing this, trying to do that. Like, it feels like it's just a back and forth battle to get that ride open. And the sooner they do, the sooner the better, and they can move on to the next thing. I mean, they're getting a Ferris wheel, aren't they?
Yeah, well, outside
In
the
the
park.
park.
But yeah, it's outside the park. I think it's like,
inside the park.
is it inside the park? Mate, last time I checked,
Or is it outside? I don't
thought
know.
it was just
I
outside.
thought it was outside, but someone like went, "This is the size of it," and put it in like.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw. Yeah.
My understanding, from what I've heard, is it's going to be just outside the park somewhere.
So Pleasure Beach are putting a wheel there before Merlin do.
I mean, I don't think you're far off there, mate. To be honest, I think because of probably Sandcastle and stuff.
Yeah,
you know, they want to get a bit of
that area.
You know, that
they want to make
tourism.
it Merlin.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, that's probably one of the reasons for it. But it'll probably be about 30 quid. But we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know. Yeah, well, it's like Attraction Source said, you know, hopefully we see some more positive news coming out of the park.
Yeah, I've been very negative this year.
I still really like that place. I know they're making a lot of mistakes and stuff, but what park isn't, mate? You know what I mean? Like it seems to be a big change in the UK industry at the minute, and there's going to be some steps put wrong. So, I don't know.
I just hope, like with Towers, Chesington, Thorpe, Legoland, all the Merlin parks, and if you can have Flamingoland, to be honest with you, building sick. People start stepping up with that as well, and raises the bar again throughout the whole attractions in the UK. If one of them stays at a flat level, you're going to end up going to, like, you know, Southport territory. What happened to them? They didn't move with the times, and you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that when people are investing so heavily.
Yeah, I think Attraction Source saying here is it needs a lot of infrastructure enhancements to get park open for Feb. Thorpe tried it years ago, and was a disaster in terms of. I think I don't think for the Merlin parks a February opening is right. I think the reason it worked for Blackpool from our point of view is that we all went there with the understanding that a lot of things won't be open, and actually it was just more about. I think Blackpool's just
everyone together.
It's set up for that because you can walk from bars to from the park, you know, and it's mega cheap. You can get like B&Bs for like 20 quid a night, even cheaper. Like
questionable
it's
ones.
But it's affordable. Do you know what I mean? Like it's affordable to do. So, but then if you're talking about going to Thorpe and then maybe Little Tower,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just saw Dark Shadow. Okay.
I just I don't know what you mean.
Southport. You mean
Universal.
Port of
Oh,
Discovery
God.
coming soon to
I love how that was like breaking news and all that.
No, it wasn't Port of Discovery. It was Port of Adventure.
Port of
Port of
Adventure.
Adventure.
Oh, there you go.
It was even worse.
It was
Yeah.
even worse than Port of
I love how
Discovery,
we found that out on our podcast, the last one we did, though, weren't it? Like,
Yeah,
I saw it tweeted, and I was like, "Oh my god, look at this!" And it was everywhere.
Nothing's happened with it since, right? It's just sat there.
They come out and said that this. They did come out, I think, the next day and said this was
Amazing.
all like concept, or the icons and like all the logos and everything were like concepts and shouldn't have really been like, put out there and stuff. So if that is true, then I do feel sorry for him because I just got like
I feel like
halfway
that's...
for a presentation. Like we
That's
want
what
to be like these.
I feel, you know what? I feel like
that's more
they
than
was
just
putting
going.
together a presentation, and then someone was like, "Oh, you've
Ben.
got a day to put this presentation together."
Yeah.
Okay,
literally.
quick, like to put this
Alright.
together.
Just
and
a
then
guy there at
yeah.
night, just drinking wine and like, right, I need to look at the best. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay, Universal. Yeah, still there. Look. Let's put that on there. Yeah, Universal's a concept.
Or that could have just been an excuse, and they were just like,
I feel like it might be
It's definitely an
excuse.
excuse. I think.
They were
It's
like,
you've been
oh
called
yeah,
out.
we'll go with this, and then everyone's ripped into them for it, and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, we tried that. You can't do what
These are all
the
concepts.
stands do, like in Black, like the fake toy shops and stuff. It's like
yeah.
Universal toy shops. You can't do
Yeah.
that with a real theme park, unfortunately. It can't happen. But,
Yeah.
I wonder where they got their inspiration for their concepts.
I wonder. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
I don't blame anybody for taking inspiration for conceptual ideas or like preliminary conceptual ideas.
Oh no,
when
they
it
all
comes-
do
when
it.
comes
Yeah,
to-
everyone does
yeah,
it for
like,
Jake Gibbard, don't
ev-
they?
like the best artists steal from each other,
Yeah.
like in so many different forms of artwork. But
Oh yeah, I've
like,
got a book.
put your own.
I've got a book on that.
Yeah, there you go.
It's still like an artist. It's a great book.
Available on
Yeah.
Amazon.
But yeah, put your own spin on it. Keep revising iterations of it until you're able to put together your own original.
Yeah,
ideas
I mean,
and
all ideas are built on previous ideas from
Original
other people.
products.
You just gotta merge different ideas together to get to something else. But
Exactly.
like that wasn't what they did,
Exactly.
was it? But hopefully, yeah, that was just a
I
straight.
wonder if
rip-off.
Southport will
Yeah.
rip off Halloween Horror Nights.
It's funny as hell, man.
Yeah.
Horror on Halloween nights.
DFS, I think it'll be called.
What the hell did what did I just see further? Oh yeah, Roller Baz and Costa said we have been more excited by Southport Fantasia.
Oh,
With a TH.
brilliant. That's fantastic. Yeah, Portland.
Pirates 4D will be presented in 2D today. Did Forth actually do that?
That
Well,
would be
that-
hilarious if they did.
I-
to be fair.
Because that's the saying about Forth opening in Feb, and the only
Hmm.
ride open for the first 2 hours was the carousel.
Yeah,
So I imagine Pirates 4D being presented in 2D would be a thing that they did.
Yeah, man.
I went in Feb once. I remember
Oh,
riding Tidal Wave.
It
in
was
the
a
snow.
thing. He has the
Yeah.
sign.
Oh, nice.
That's so funny. Oh my god,
That's amazing.
That's amazing. That was 2D today.
They just didn't bother turning
They
on the
just-
second projector.
Oh,
Like,
that's
No.
so funny.
It's like Ice Age 2D. It's like it just happens.
Oh. Anyway, Hex is open.
It is.
oh,
But it's
yeah.
not very good though, is it? Let's be honest.
It's
Hex?
open.
What are you on about?
Yeah. Well, the
Half
audio
the
is
effects ain't
shocking.
working.
And the effects aren't working.
I was about to say, do you mean like
Okay,
the-
when I
the-
did it, it
the-
was
the-
all. It was
no.
when I did it.
The
It
Witch's
was all
Curse
working.
isn't playing anymore.
Yeah, the Witch's Curse doesn't play.
It was when I
There is
went.
no
really?
hex. in
I'm
Hex.
sure it was. Actually,
Nope.
no.
No.
Say it. The Witch's Curse wasn't.
No,
But the rest
flashy
of it-
flash, but no curse.
Half of the side of the audio isn't working.
Yeah,
There's
half
only
the
one
room
side
isn't
that
working.
speakers are working on.
That's so bizarre. I didn't notice that, but I'm
Yeah,
not, I'm
a
not
lot of the audio
fucking-
stuff's
I'm
down.
not a nerd like you guys.
We kind of
Yeah.
have to be at this point. We're that deep in now. We kind of just have to keep digging. Like it's but
I
we were
think I
sat
think
there,
I was
like,
just I think I was just so happy to be back in there, to be honest with you. But
yeah, we were, but-
the Madhouse section, which is what they were having the problem with, is working good. And in terms of not audio, but everything else is working good. It's all.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with that ride. It's never consistent. Not the ride itself, but the
Yeah,
show. It's never
show.
consistent. It's always
And
different.
it is a show as well, so it has
Yeah.
to work. Yeah.
And the
Okay,
fact the curse
nice.
isn't working, though, that needs to be mentioned to someone if nobody knows about that. Like,
I
that
think
is-
they will know. They will know.
That's
That'll be
like-
something.
I mean,
going
it
on
might
there.
be.
that's the
working.
finale of the ride.
Mm. Has anyone been on it recently? Is it working?
Yeah, has anyone been in it like yesterday or
No,
like,
this is-
Yeah.
Icosa just said everything was working on Hex when they did it.
When did you go?
Oh well, that's what I mean. Like I'm pretty sure. Like I was second guessing myself, but when we did it, everything was working, and it looked and sounded better than it.
oh, the branch
has
doesn't
in
light up either
ages.
anymore.
No, the branch was definitely like lit up when I did it. That was definitely working. So maybe I don't know. Maybe you just had an intern operating your day.
Well, it was all weekend.
Yeah,
God
it
damn
wasn't
it,
just
Jack.
that. It was
Friday,
literally
Saturday,
like
Sunday.
for that
Maybe
entire week.
Mr. Hex was off. He's on holiday.
He didn't get the memo.
They forgot to flip a switch, which is actually
Yeah.
half of the effect is on that one
Yeah.
switch.
Oh, patch base. Like they didn't have the cable plugged in properly. Yeah.
Pat-
Well, yeah. Let us know, Karen, if it's running. Be interested because I was just looking around when we were doing it. I was like, all right, this should.
Someone, yeah.
What?
Casey Mustang Eric heard what I said.
It's Jack.
I said
Why would Jack be operating Hex badly? What's
my
this?
my friend Jack from Thrilling Moments. Like he's
Oh,
known
yeah.
to the drunk riders as Jack the intern.
Oh.
So when you said the intern was working, I said, "God
Yeah,
damn
yeah.
it, Jack!"
I got you.
Oh, love it.
Oh,
Love that.
something interesting though about that trip. I actually saw the full TV documentary kind of show in the queue line for Hex. I'd never seen it before because we were in the queue line for quite a while.
Yeah, no, you know what?
It's actually a pretty good program.
Yeah, that whole
It's
like,
actually
documentary,
decent.
The guy like
Yeah.
walking
Damien.
around going, something must have happened. It was like he's so northern. Like he's I don't know. Well, no, he's not northern. He's like Stokian. What do you call him? Stokians.
Stokian.
Potter.
And yes, it's actually Damien, the famous
Yeah,
Damien from
Damien.
the
If you
Runaway
know,
Mine
yeah,
Train.
Damien. Yeah, if you watch the Mine Train documentary with John Wadley, he shouts
Yeah.
Damien across the bridge.
Damien. Oh, is that
Damien!
him? I did
Yeah,
not
it's
know
Damien,
that.
yeah.
Are you going anywhere? Can I see you?
Oh, is
Right, now
that
I think-
what?
Yeah, now I think
Is that legit?
presentation. Now I think presentation ought
Oh
to
my
be involved. And he
God.
goes,
There's no
"Nobody's
one
there." And John just goes, "Oh." It's like, it's a moment you have to
That's
go.
so
back and
good.
watch
Yeah,
the
but I
movie.
didn't know that was him.
Yeah,
Like,
it's Damien. That's the Damien because he
Damien.
looks exactly the same on
Which
that
one is it?
video.
The one who's by the chained oak, or the one inside the towers? Because
The one who,
I think it's the one at the towers, isn't it? The
yeah,
it's like wearing hard hat, high vis and everything.
yeah, that's
yeah,
the one inside the towers. Then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's and I think he's in because it says Damien at the bottom, and then it pans to him, and then it's him. It's the same guy who's when John Wadley's talking to him by the mine train entrance.
Here you go.
Okay.
Weirdly, the witch chant is in the main soundtrack, but is played out of a left channel speaker. It can disconnect occasionally.
Well, that's probably why because only one side of the vault was working. So if only
There
one
you go.
side's working, the right side and the left isn't, the witch won't play, will it?
That is very
Mm.
true. Ooh.
Plug it in.
James said Damien is hex cannon.
Damien is definitely hex cannon. That was interesting though. I said him, I was like, that's Damien. Damien.
Yeah, but like when we did it, when we did opening weekend on the Saturday, like my mind was blown that Hex had a queue coming out the door. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this is like a
It did
blast
for
from the
Scare
past.
Amazing when we were there during the day.
Oh yeah, we got so lucky. So we were like, oh, let's go on Hex, and we like walked through most of the queue and then was stopped for a little bit. Come out, the queue was like out past the door.
Yeah, which was weird because they were
Massive
queuing
queue out of nowhere.
for some reason. People are just thick, aren't they? Right. So there's a massive queue line you can stand in. Yet everyone was
Yeah.
like almost queuing all the way to Woodcutters, like just in a
Yeah.
line.
It's just
But
mate,
there was no staff there telling them to go. Into the...
Yeah, but come on, there's a
It's
It
well,
was
this is the
such-
thing, man. Like this is like
tycoon,
have-
pick them up, move them over, drop them down, pick them up, move them over. drop them
we were by Jewel and we was doing some filming, and someone like this couple walked up and this woman, she's probably in about her 40s or something. She was just like, "Oh, look, it's called it's called Repossessed now."
It's not a bad name.
Pretty good name, actually, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, when you think about it, it's not a
Yeah.
bad name. That
Or-
was
or-
cool. That
Yeah.
seeing that
The
around the
amount
building was awesome.
of smoke fluid they are going through at the moment.
Yeah, that was mad.
They are like
Yeah.
pumping it out every like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I literally said, "So I'm studying now, and there's usually smoke," and then it just went like, straight away on cue. I was like, I just pressed the button and it happened. It was amazing.
Yeah,
It looks
man.
so good at night, though. They need to keep that kind of look to the building when it reopens. Definitely.
Yeah.
Just
Not with the
going
boards,
back to the Halloween events chat a little bit. Can we give a shout out to Pleasure Beach Experience, because, and this is kind of going on to what I was going to ask you about as well, Sean, but I obviously don't go to many Halloween events just in general, but one of my favorite parts of just Halloween season is seeing Mark Yates being scared shitless in every maze that he does.
Yeah, he goes full Cole Pilkington mode for the Halloween season.
And like legit, and like I always enjoy their Halloween vlogs just because like they just make, like, they're aware of just how on edge they all are, not even just Mark Yates in particular, but like all of them are, and they just milk it for all it's worth, and it's great.
You don't watch my bloody vlogs, do you, McCall?
Who said I don't?
I'm joking.
I was gonna say what?
I have a question for McCall.
I was. Oh yeah. Let me just ask this first. And I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you had an apology. And apologies if you had mentioned this and I just wasn't listening. But I was gonna ask if you had done horror at Hinchinbrook House, is it, or something like that?
I wanted to go there this year because that looks really good. But
Because yeah, like
it looks
like the-
amazing.
yeah, the PBE guys like seem to go every year now, and they seem to
Yeah.
talk about just how like elevated it is as a scare attraction and stuff.
It's one I really want to get to. But it's just like, honestly, if I showed you my calendar, like we are struggling, because the weirdest thing is about UK scare events is that until like this week, all of them run from like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They don't run in the week. A lot of them don't.
Yeah.
So like all my weekends are like booked out either with scare attractions or working.
Yeah.
So like we couldn't get to like as many as we wanted to get to. Saying that, we've done like 12 events. But still,
Yeah.
that was just one that fell off. But hopefully next year I get to go to it. But that one looks like really, really good. I'm really excited about that because that they do the whole a bit like Passage and Dr. Frights, where they do a maze where it's like seeing some horror films or like popular culture, like in Hinchinbrook, they've done like a scene from like Squid Game and stuff.
Right.
Which is, don't you think it's so weird that like Squid Game seems like such an old thing now, even though it was like massive for about 2 weeks.
I went into Primark the other day and all of the Squid Games stuff was like on offer for like
it was
50p
so weird,
for a
like,
jumper.
that
It was
really
weird.
That really summarizes our culture at the minute. How
Yeah,
everything is
just
so
bam, bam,
disposable.
bam,
It's
bam,
like it's
bam,
done,
bam,
one and
bam.
done.
Everyone
Yeah,
has the
it's no,
attention
like-
span of like
Yeah, it's
TikTok.
mad, isn't it?
has a
Like,
5-minute long attention span. Like,
'Cause I
saw
that,
Everything,
I was like,
everything's just gonna come and go.
I was like, Squid Game. I was like, I forgot about that. Oh, it was only like this year. What the hell? Like,
Yeah.
that was so
Yeah.
weird. Like, yeah, it's kind of sad in a way. But
But yes, my question, Mikhail, is:
What are you gonna ask?
have you watched the John Wardley interview?
Yeah.
Oh, round of applause for Mikhail. Well done,
I
Mikhail.
cannot believe I forgot about that shit. I was gonna.
Everybody,
So,
do a clap
I
for
watched
Mikhail,
it.
please, in the chat.
I watched it last Tuesday, planning for the fifth on the 50th episodes of this one to be like, and on the 50th episode, I'm here to announce I have watched the John Wardley
Oh,
show.
well, there you go. It's gonna
I
now.
com-
At least
I
I
got
asked the
in.
question. Then.
I completely
John
forgot.
Wood-
But I was about to that was about to go unheard of for another I don't know how many episodes. I completely forgot to say that, but yeah, I have watched it now.
John would be proud, mate. John would be
He
proud.
would be very happy about that.
Oh, what? Wait a
I
minute.
did it.
I've just got confirmation. John is proud of you, Mikhail. There you go. The man himself. just
Tell our
What's
tell
that
our Lord
saying?
and Savior, I am very appreciative.
said.
Oh, that's a good point from ads. Just quickly back on Valhalla. So what worries me about Valhalla a bit, Merlin's marketing machine will blitz Duel and Jumanji everywhere and probably suck the air out of any other packs additions. That's a good point. Like everyone's going to be focused on, everything that's going on elsewhere. Valhalla is probably going to be a very niche market by then. To be
I
honest
don't
with
know. I do. I know what you mean, but also, like, I
you.
think
Congrats to
it was
Mikhail.
the same. It was the same with Icon, though. Don't you think it was the same with Icon? How they had this major
Micka Man.
edition, but with Micka Man, it overshadowed it. But it doesn't matter because
I'm
Black-
sorry,
Black-
with who?
Black-
With who? Yeah, you
You
said
say-
Mi-
You say Micka Man?
Micka Man?
Yeah, you
Sorry.
Micka Man.
guys,
You don't sacrifice, you get taken the mick out of.
No. Micka Man. Oh, that's going to be the name of our WhatsApp group chat now. Damn it.
Oh, you've done it. You've changed the title again.
Damn it, man.
There you go.
No, it's
You
counting
are
Sean's
welcome.
Micka Man. Yeah, but that happened with Icon, but with Blackpool, I don't think they care that much. I mean, they might care, but they have that whole monopoly. Well, I wouldn't say monopoly, but they have that whole captive audience of the north and up to Scotland. So I don't know. I don't think. I mean, Valhalla is going to be a hard thing to market anyway because it's not a new ride.
Yeah.
But it has that staying power where people remember it. It's a very memorable ride for a lot of people. So it's the same thing as Nemesis. When Nemesis takes off, it'll be the same sort of thing. Is like, parents, people, the older generation now, like our generation as well. Well, we are the older generation. Let's be honest. Keep forgetting about that.
Getting on.
But like,
We're getting on a bit.
but even people older than us, like they remember Nemesis when it first opened, right? So they will when it's announced, they will be like, oh wow, Nemesis, remember that. So I think the same thing will happen with Valhalla, where I don't think they necessarily need to focus on being like we're the biggest attraction opening ever. It's just going to be, I think they'll have that audience anyway. So
Yeah, I kind of don't think it's gonna bother them that much to the point where they lose ridership because of it or lose projected sales or anything.
no, I don't think so. I
Throw
mean,
an
I think
advert on
I
that,
think
people will turn up.
I think a lot of the money spent in Valhalla, even though it's obviously been it's probably been a much harder task than they anticipated originally, is the fact that it's a massive cost cutting exercise for Pleasure Beach.
Yeah.
If it is true that's rumored about how much Valhalla cost a year to run, just from like the water pumps and the pyrotechnic, just the effects and the electricity. If that is true, then they're going to save a lot of money long run from just doing this whole massive overhaul. So I think from my point of view, it's more to do with that. And also the fact that Valhalla won like best water ride year on year out in the golden
Ticket.
golden ticket, golden cog award.
Golden Cock Awards.
Coming soon to Coast.
Coming
Harry,
soon.
Harry,
Harry, you won
I know,
that?
that's a pretty good one, right, for Harry?
Yeah,
golden
that's
cog
good.
award.
Do it. Yeah,
Um,
the top vote coaster wins that. The Golden
Yeah.
Cock Award.
God, James just said Big Bob is the Wicker Man, Mighty Mick is the Micker Man.
Mickey Man. Oh yes.
Mighty mix the
Oh,
Rams
can you
in the
imagine? Can
shop.
you imagine Mickey Mouse like as the as Big Bob?
as the Big Pop statue.
Mickey Man.
I'm on fire, Minnie.
Very
gonna-
good.
I'm going to take 2 minutes out. One sec, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah. So I think them points are good, and they're all really good points, guys, in the chat. I'm just so disappointed with. I've said it before, but at the start of the year, I was proper like full on Pleasure Beach. Let's do this. Very excited. It's just died off. Like it's flattened out so much, and everyone's saying that Enzo's going around empty all the time, and there's rumors that it's being taken out next year and all kinds of stuff. So it's like, it's just, I feel like they're just having a pretty hard time at the moment. I hope it gets better for them because they are a good park and they offer a really good variety of rides to a lot of people, and there's a lot of history there as well. You don't want to lose any of that. And you want to make sure that the people who keep coming to your park keep coming, because I haven't been since opening, and that says a lot. Like I usually go a lot to Pleasure Beach, and I only live an hour and a half away, so it says a lot, doesn't it? So I lost my enthusiasm for Pleasure Beach. Used to love it. I really want them to recover. Yeah, exactly. iCoaster, absolutely, I agree. And what do you guys think then? In the comments in the chat now, what do you guys think about Pleasure Beach? What would you like them to do, as the enthusiast we are, to turn a corner? What do you think they could do to turn a corner? It'd be interesting to see what you guys think in the comments and in the chat, and we'll go through it. James, are you doing any more scare attractions this year?
Am I doing? Not that I know of.
Or are you done?
Or
There
just any
could
more,
be-
just any more park visits in general.
There could
Well, we
be.
got Phantasialand, and
Towards
that's
the
it.
end- Towards the end of the season.
That's about it. Yeah.
Mm.
I was considering a last-minute trip over to Belgium, but that's not going to happen.
Plopsaland.
If I could split the cost of the train, yes, it would happen. But
Next
not,
year. Maybe
I'll
next year.
Definitely be going next year.
Yeah, I think next year. Oh, nice.
Potentially could go somewhere at the weekend. I don't know.
Mm.
If anywhere, it would be Thorpe, but I think they're sold out.
I'm gutted I missed Night at the Manor. It looked really fun. It did look fun. And the food looked good as well. Like
Annoyingly,
you said,
I would have gone to my local one, which ended up shutting down.
yeah.
It was very annoying.
Is that ever going to open again? What was that one called again?
Broadwich.
Broadwich. And that had some that had like a massive corn maze or something. It was like in a farm, wasn't it? Huge farm.
Yeah, it was a farm park. They had award-winning mazes. So
What's
but
that?
yeah, Broadwich Hauntfest
Mm.
had some
Yeah.
award-winning mazes and shut down. So unfortunately,
mate, the
otherwise I
thing
would
is
be going
now-
to that this year.
The competition with these Halloween events is massive now, because there's just so many of them popping up like everywhere, and it's too much to get in. Really?
Well,
is.
that's the thing. They had done it for over 20 years,
Mm,
so
that's a
they were
shame.
established.
Yeah,
It was, COVID screwed them over.
yeah.
Yep,
I think
Screwed a lot of people.
places, they live from event to event, don't they? Really, you don't think about the costs it takes to set up an event, just that upfront cost after
Yeah.
a year off or whatever.
I mean-
put that back up. So
For them, a lot of their mazes did actually stay set up
Mm.
because it was in parts of
it's-
the farm that they
Yeah.
could use.
but it's
So-
like even if you have a set up maze, there's cost to getting that back
getting
to
all the
being
stuff and
safe
Standard.
again, and then
Yeah.
mold's a massive issue with these places as well. Like they have to get everything sorted out again, fixed, like the flooring caves through and things like that. Like it's a lot that goes into it.
So I asked a
So,
question while he was away. Are you gonna pick up one, Mikhail?
Oh no, I was gonna bring it back to the bingo card and mention Fantasyland again.
Oh, there we go. Need new
Just
banner.
like with like I was for Taran specifically, Luke. I was going to ask you, now that you've ridden Velocicoaster, I know how Sean feels about Velocicoaster versus Taran. I obviously know how I feel about the two. What are your expectations of Taran going into it? Not only riding it, but being able to ride it at night during Wintertron, having now experienced everything that Velocicoaster has to offer. Talk to me.
I'm really, really excited for it. More so than Velocicoaster, I think, because it's been on my list for a much longer time than Velocicoaster has. That was built.
Think about how much time like we all spent playing Taran ride sims through lockdown.
Yes, a lot.
Hearing that soundtrack, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we did a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, don't sleep on Ride Sims Plus, by the way, because the next sim is pretty intense. It's amazing. It's Taran is one of them for me now, where I've got so much to look forward to at this park. I keep forgetting about it. It's like you've got Fly, you've got Black Mamba, which I'm excited to ride. Really excited to ride. Chap has to ride Talakan. The list goes on, and Taran for me is going to be one of them where I'm going to go in. I'm going to lower my expectations completely. And I hope it blows it out the water. I really do. Because if it's anything like Velocicoaster speed, power, whippiness, it's going to be a coaster that I'm going to come off and I'm going to just be really happy that I finally got to ride Taran. After hearing Sean and you talk about it for years, it's one of them that is just, I'm going to go on it and I'm going to get on it. I'm going to get as many rides as I can on it as well. Front, middle, back, wherever I can sit, I'm going to get on it, and it's going to be just insane.
It's a weird one for me because that is such a special ride to me.
It'd be like me. I think it's a similar vibe to me if I went to Liseberg and rode Helix, because I've been waiting that long to ride it.
I want to keep saying that. Like I've said it before, I've said it 100 times, but I've not done a night ride in Taran. Like I've not seen it at its like very best. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I can't wait for that.
For me, Velocicoaster, like it was the night ride that did it for me. The daytime ride was brilliant. I loved it. The whole experience, great. The night ride was the one that made me went, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's brutal. It is
so
brutal.
like when I experience Taran at night, like I feel like it's gonna just
literally with Taran for me, because I went straight to Taran because same again, had seen it for years. I was most excited for it.
Yeah.
And honestly, my first ride on it, I was like, okay. I wasn't blown away, but then throughout the day as I rode it again and again, and as it
warmed up,
and then it was just like, yes, I'm trying to kill you right now.
That's insulin when it's warm, man. That's what you do.
I'm looking forward to Night Ride where it's had a whole like 8 or 9 hours to warm up, and
definitely
literally darkness. Please just make sure you get a front row Night Ride.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Please do.
Good thing about Fantasyland, front row queues. You can actually get front rows.
Well done, Fantasyland. Well done.
And
that's
the
extended queue is painful.
Literally, like it was the Night Ride marathon with a bunch of front row rides that I did that had me just like, this is not far off of Velocicoaster for me.
I hope I get that.
It's powerful at night.
Yeah.
Because I feel like and I can't remember if I said this on previous episodes or anything, but from what I've been hearing, like this season, a lot of people have come off of Taran during this main season a little bit disappointed because they've been expecting it to just be more aggressive or whatever the case may be, or it's not had the heightened sense of speed that they maybe expected it to have. But what I've I think been able to surmise is that I feel like they've just been running it at a slower pace especially during the midweek days in the main season, just for maintenance issues and for the maintenance reasons, and to just preserve the wheels, because they've had the same sort of urethane melting problems that Velocicoaster has been having with its wheels as well.
Right.
And so it might have just been a preservation sort of initiative that they've been putting in place during the main season for it to just run not quite as fast during like on certain days during the main season, and then when it gets to Wintertraum, and that's another thing as well. Like Germany's summers get stupid, like they get stupid hot, and then like,
I was sweating when I was there.
Exactly.
June.
So you can see how they might have been having those issues, but then like during Wintertraum, just it like they'll just have it on OG 2016 settings, just sending it full send, because it felt faster when I rode it in during Wintertraum than it did when I rode it in April of 2018.
So I'm guessing that was a attraction source down about the outside queue of Taron, because if it is, that thing is
yeah.
That thing is horrible.
It's horrendous.
My god.
It's
like, you go from the most well-themed
beautifully
themed, and then suddenly you're in this like horrible
a massive space of cattle pens, and I've never seen it full up.
To be
but you can imagine how.
To be fair, it's from when I saw pictures of it when they first opened it to when I went, a lot of greenery has grown in on that wall, so it doesn't look quite as bad, but it just still looks like shit.
Weeds.
Okay.
So can we touch on the James's comment?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up. I disagree with this entirely, but
I disagree.
I'll let you go first. I disagree with this massively.
Because I saw this take on Twitter. I'm not sure if it was James or someone else.
It was who was it?
Is it Carly?
That's the one. Yeah.
It was Carly.
Carly.
And I tried to type a response to it, and I was like, I can't do my response justice on Twitter because I haven't got the word count.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a very subjective thing.
1 of 10, 2 of 10.
But yeah, I disagree with this. I disagree with this take 100%, because like it doesn't matter whether you do something in the morning or the night. Like if the first time you experience Zardra, for example, is you get there on the afternoon and you go and do Zardra, your first experience of it is warmed up to the most it's been, then obviously it's great. If you go and do it if you go and do it in the morning and it's not warmed up, it's not. But I'm sorry, like if a coaster is so fully warmed up and it's everything that you ever want, it's still a fucking great coaster. Like it doesn't. I don't know.
So what? So like you're gonna discount this otherworldly experience that you've had at 10 p.m. That's everything you've ever wanted in a coaster experience. That it ticked every single one of your boxes that you might have in a coaster experience when you rode it at 10 p.m. because it wasn't quite as fast at 10 a.m.
Yeah, I can't.
What did the two have? What did the two have anything to do with each other? When I did Velocicoaster, when I first went there, it was nowhere near my top 3. Like nowhere near. It was probably like number 6 if I had to have a guess.
Really?
Yeah. No, everyone, like, again, it's subjective, okay? But when I did Velocicoaster, when I first did it, I was like, so I say it quite a lot, and Intamin suffered from it quite a lot, but it was a bit rattly and it was very distracting. And I was like, this is Velocicoaster. It's a bit rattly. It was a bit like, it wasn't great for me. That was just my experience. But then as soon as I did it at night and it carried it with that speed, and then that second launch that literally turned my vision blurry.
Yeah,
like that was something else. I've never experienced that on anything else, right? So I just can't take that away from Velocicoaster to be like, oh well, you're not in my top. That was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. But because you wasn't running like that at 10 a.m., you're discounted. Like I just it doesn't
And it's
seem
also
realistic to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's also just ignorance
Yeah.
of the fact that these are mechanical objects. Like
yeah,
then like no coaster gives a 10 p.m. experience at 10 a.m.
yeah.
Like not that I am
Well,
aware of.
I will
Not
say,
that I am
I
aware of.
will
because-
say, I'll say a quick shout out to Troy, because that thing doesn't matter what time of day I do Troy, that thing hauls. Like it's the most insane thing I've ever done, and I couldn't really tell any difference between a morning ride and a night ride. Well, a later ride, because I didn't even do it at night. I did it latest I did it was park close, which was like 6 p.m.
I'm just talking
So,
from a
I'll always give it to a coaster if they can have this consistent like speed or whatever. But I don't know. I just think it's unrealistic to be like you've got to be consistently the same. I don't know. I know.
It's discounting the mechanical properties of machinery, basically, because
Yeah.
joints have to warm up
Mm,
in order for them to run as smoothly as they're physically capable of doing. Bearing fluid, we're talking about bearing fluids, wheel assemblies. Why do you think that some rides have wheel heaters underneath the track in stations when they run during winter months? Because the mechanical objects they have to
or they wet the track in some
or
cases.
they
The
valley
sprays.
they valley right. It's I'm not going to go as far as to say like is like anyone like that view is ignorant. I'm not calling anybody ignorant or anything, but it's literally
just before you go into it,
it's literal.
I think
like
it's I think
yeah.
it's a valid I think it's a valid point to have as subjective as your like, say if you were like, I only class that as like, it has to be in my top, because like, let's be honest, trying to rank coasters, and you do so many of them that are like world class, especially these days as well, when everything that comes out is like blows you away, it's pretty hard. So I can understand having that viewpoint of I can
understand it,
but for me personally,
there are a lot of reasons why I disagree with it. There are a lot of reasons,
because like, I don't know, I just have to measure everything as equally as possible, and I just think it's kind of unfair, because some manufacturers, it's just a given that some manufacturers have to warm up. That's just the way it is, and maybe it does mean that they have to come up with more inventive ways, like heating the wheels up and things like that, like to make it.
Colossus at Fort that literally has heaters under the station.
Yeah.
When it's a bit too cold, stay.
And so I don't know, maybe they have to do that, but at the same time, like you can't like, also saying that is discounting the weather of different countries. Like you can't
exactly,
a coaster in Florida, you can't compare that to a coaster in Poland where it's mostly cold all the time, or the UK where it's mostly cold all the time, whereas Florida has the advantage of it just being bloody, you're sweating your bollocks off at like 10 a.m. So
I think what he's getting at,
I understand what he's getting at.
Yeah, but I think there's another thing there as well, is the general design of a ride. So if the elements flow, if the brakes aren't harsh, if the launches are decent, the pacing's great to a ride, then that's not down to how the machine's working, like you say, which is correct. It does warm up. Things do get warmer and do get quicker. But if it's right from the start, then you potentially don't need to ride it in another situation. If that ride's good in that situation, at the start of when it's being made, it's done first thing in the morning. I think Fly might be a good one to use, because it doesn't do that much speed wise. It's a journey, right? I've not ridden it.
Well, it's a whole experience, isn't it?
It's a journey. It's an experience, but the only thing that would make it different at night would be the lights. Like I can't see it being that much of a different ride experience at night, speed wise, because it's not designed to do that.
But that's not what that's not what that specific coaster is about. Like,
No.
you know, it's
But
like
it's
that's
No, but
still
it's
a-
still
it's still a
it's still
coaster.
a piece of machinery, and it's still prone to, you know, mechanical parts of the object
but
warming up over time.
it is
But
true that
I do hear
true that
like,
some coasters do suffer from that worse than others.
Yeah.
Question and point icon is
Yeah,
like
absolutely, 100%.
like
In the
bottom tier
morning,
coaster, and it's like not even worth
it's a
doing in the
different
morning.
ride. Different
But then
ride.
but then at night, it's like easily one of the best coasters in the UK. For a while, it was my favorite coaster because of the night rides I was getting on it. It was so good.
Yeah.
But I mean that's more about us trying to take what we can get in the UK. You know what I mean? Like,
That's true. But that is very true.
Praying for
But
it. Yeah.
is he called James? Yeah, I think
James,
yeah.
some of the examples he gave, like rides, like
Yeah.
I-305, like that's an intense ride, no matter what.
Yeah.
well,
Ride to Happiness.
well, okay, so I was just about to go into some of those.
Yeah.
So Ride to Happiness, like my first ride on it was in the front car, and it was insanity.
Yeah, it was, to be fair.
The end of the
Yeah.
day ride was much better
Yeah.
for me.
But it is pretty
Right.
crazy straight out the gate, isn't it? Like when we
It
did
is,
for a
but
Mac, it's pretty crazy.
you
as
could
well.
you could tell, like,
But it's James saying what James is saying is, if something you ride in the morning is kind of like, oh, that was all right, but not as good as I thought it was. And then at the end of the day, it's like, that was bloody amazing. That was like one of my favorite coasters ever. Versus Ride to Happiness, when I did that, we did that straight first thing in the morning. I was like, oh my god, that blew my mind. And then it just consistently did that throughout the day. I guess that's what James is saying. Like,
Yeah, first
yeah,
ride
no,
feelings
I
making
get,
instance.
I get what he's saying,
Yeah.
but well, I was just going into that, like, Velocicoaster wasn't in my top 5 off of my first couple of rides.
Mine
And I mean,
absolutely destroyed my top
I
five.
went into it expecting top 10, and it was like from 5. It was like from 5. It was top 10. It was 5 to 10. It took until the afternoon and evening rides for it to, like I said, when, like, on my first experience of it, it wasn't until like a few rides in I was like, is it better than Lightning Rod? And then a few rides more, and I was just like, oh yeah, it's better than Lightning Rod. And then it took damn near a whole week for me to settle on it being my number 1 coaster. Right?
I think what we can agree on is the fact that, like, ranking rides is so personal. Like, it's so in it. Like, I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I love
it's not
13.
even-
I love 13 at night. I think it's a fantastic family
Yeah.
coaster at night. It's so much fun.
It's
You ain't got a clue where you're going. It's great.
It's I mean, I think 13 is one of the most underrated coasters about, to be honest. Everyone shits on it.
I really like
I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I mean, yeah, 13 at night is unreal.
I just think it's a bit. I'm trying to find the right word to say it. Like,
not just 13 specifically.
I just think
that
it's
was
a
a
bit
personal example of one of my personal.
I think it's
like,
a bit.
if you do that in the daytime, it's like it's fun. It's nothing else. But if you do that at night, I wouldn't say that it goes into my top 10 though. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like,
Nah, but
that's the thing. But
Wicker Man at night.
I don't know.
I love Wicker Man at night.
I just think it's a bit over. I just think it's a bit overzealous to expect a coaster's full potential in the morning, and then to the point where if you get the coaster's full potential in the evening, you discount that experience that you have because it wasn't quite that in the morning.
That's funny because if you think about it, right? How many people rope drop parks?
And by all means, like, of course, you have, you know, full reign to craft your opinions on experiences, whichever way you want. This is an entirely subjective conversation. Yeah, but I can't co-sign that approach. I can't.
I don't think that
it makes no sense.
From my point of view, I think that's a fair enough approach to take to your personal count.
Sure,
but to do an overarching thing of, like, if something has to be warmed up throughout the day, then it shouldn't be. I can't get on board with that because there's just too many coasters that I've done that have just been absolutely incredible. Like it sounds sad, but like life-changing experiences.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, legit though,
yeah,
because
yeah.
that's how I've described some of the best coaster experiences that I've ever had. Fury 325 is one of those. Obviously,
like
Velocicoaster is one of those.
an
Zadra is one of
like
those.
like an emotional, almost like an emotional feeling to
Yeah.
it. Where
Yeah.
it's like, what the hell was that? That is like, that's
Fury-
what I'm here for. That's
Fury
what I'm gonna
325, Velocicoaster, and Zadra. Look, my top three, my top three, Velocicoaster, Zadra, and Fury 325 are all coasters that have given me to use that term, because let's not shy away from it, life-changing or just life experience defining moments on those rides in the evening.
That's the
but
thing.
have also not been as fast in the morning. All three of them.
But it's not even that. It's like you can do some coasters and they're just not running at.
I've
best.
had that.
So like if you look at
that, I've had that Shambhala. The first time I ever rode it on opening day, it changed my life. Like coaster wise, I'd never experienced a B&M Hyper.
Yeah.
I've ridden it maybe 200 or 300 times since then, but it's still to me the same as it was on that first day. It was amazing. It was a fantastic coaster.
I've never like, I know that a few, like I know for example Carly and Ross went to Portaventura recently, and Carly was saying like why does everyone rate Shambhala so much?
What was this recent?
And then this is recently, and then she went, and then like later on, she had a good night ride on it, like a later on in the day, and she was like, "I get it now," sort of thing. And it's like, it's like suddenly when a ride gets to that full potential, but like I just think there's so many. Like, say if you go to a park for one day, there are so many variables to that experience. You know, how fast is the wind going in a certain direction? Do we start counting that into it? Do you know what I mean? If the wind is like going in a certain direction, it's going to affect your ride completely if it's very windy. Like, do we start saying, oh, it has to run in any weather?
Yeah.
Ever. No. Like that's just you know what I mean? Like it's how far does that rabbit hole go where you start saying
but what we're also saying as well on the other end of that, to play devil's advocate, is that we should drop ourselves into a park at 6 p.m. and that should be everyone's first ride experience of the coaster.
I wish that was an option, to be honest.
James, did I not say that to you about Wicker Man on opening day? That just like we saw that the line was a stupidly long line, like right at opening.
Yeah,
and I was saying, most enthusiasts would just be like, come back to it at like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. or whenever in the afternoon when it's warmed up. And I was like, isn't that just a ridiculous, like a hilarious thought of no one riding a ride until like 3 p.m. after it's warmed up? Do you know what would happen? It'd still be cold by 3 p.m. because no one's ridden it. It hasn't warmed up.
Well, like on the same vein, right? When we went to like York Maze. This made me think about this, but it's such a common thing we talk about. But for example, went to York Maze, and we bumped into Mark and Scott from PBE, and they were like, "Oh, wait for the clown maze to last. Let the actors warm up." Is that not the same sort of thing? Like, let them warm up.
I have
get into
that,
it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get into the character. Is it not the same sort of thing where it's like, okay, wait until they're on the top form and then go in? Like, it sounds so ridiculous to that someone from the outside who doesn't do these things on a regular basis. But when you're doing coasters all the time, when you're doing this, like, it does come down to these little variables, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, it does. Like, it's a hard thing to try and measure. But I mean, when I make my top tens now, I look past my 5 to 10, and I'm like, any of these coasters could swap place, like on a different day. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like, any different day I do it, whatever mood I'm in, whether it's
Thanks
down
for the
to
topic,
whether it's-
though. That was a good talking point. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's good. I
And then
like
we
them
want
talk.
to
I
go
like
to the
like
point.
these things, man. Everything's subjective, but I love thinking deep into these things. And I
Yeah,
don't
we need
think
to stop with
anyone's-
that. It's subjective and just talk about it. Like,
Yeah,
just-
but
just
no, but I
have a
think
chat.
it's important to say it's subjective because I
Yeah,
think
from the
too
start,
many. I think
yeah.
too many people. There's a lot. Well, not too many people. There's a few people who do it, but people go, "Your opinion
People
is
ta-
wrong,"
people
and
take
it's not
viewpoints as
wrong.
fact.
No one's opinion is wrong in this thing.
Exactly.
We're talking about such little intricacies that
Mm.
Very niche market.
it's so small, but
Yeah,
it gets your mind thinking and it's fun, you know. So
I've
I
only
like these
really
sort
had
of things.
one ride where it was, amazing when I first rode it,
What was that?
and it kept me over fly.
Yeah.
There's a
That's
whole
like
experience.
for me, for Taron.
The
that
whole
was-
experience.
that was
It
great.
starts amazing, and then throughout the day, it
I'd
gets better and
say
better.
for my rides, I'd say what I can think of at the bat was Ride to Happiness, first thing in the morning. That was
Can't wait to do
amazing.
that.
Taron, we did that. We did that about 11ish, but that was amazing. But we did just come out of lockdown, and it was like our first coaster out of lockdown. No, it's like it's like our fourth coaster out of lockdown. And then Conda was something special to me. Like
You're real high on Conda, are you?
I really am.
Yeah.
I rate that thing so much.
Yeah.
I know that's a very divisive coaster because some people do
Yeah.
it, and
I've realized that.
yeah, it's really
gotten
weird.
really mixed.
really
views towards
mixed.
it.
I'm
But
trying
I
to think
love
what
that
ride did that for me. Like, Shambhala was definitely but my first B&M, Oblivion, that
one.
that feels the same all the time.
Well, it's just like when you ride something for the first time, like depending on what your expectations are going into it, when you ride something for the first time, you don't know how much it's going to warm up towards the end of the day, like later on in the day and stuff. So that first ride, like my first ride on Ride to Happiness, did blow me away. It did, but I didn't have any later in the day rides to compare it to.
Yeah.
So like as I kept riding it throughout the day, and then I realized it's getting faster and faster. It's getting more forceful.
It was
But
amazing.
That first ride still blew me away. But then as it went on, I was like, oh, it's capable. Oh, it's capable of more. That's not a perspective I had.
See,
in the morning.
that's for
And it's the
me.
same-
That's what separates for me. When I did Woden recently, I went in there with a benchmark of Troy, and I was like, Troy.
Yeah.
We did that. I was at that park for 2 days at Toverland, and we did that the first ride each day was always Troy, and it was just insanity, like straight out of it. Woden took some warming up, so that's why for me, I'm like Troy is like superior,
Right.
in my opinion, because like Troy is just this like insanity as soon as you get on it.
Right.
But like so
I will
this is
also say,
I just want to say, so James said, if I'm recommending a ride to a non-enthusiast and they want the best ride available, I have to pick something that I know is elite any time of the day.
Nemesis.
Or that this is literally, or mate, this is literally what's got my mind thinking. Because I'm like, if I own Towers, if someone wants something that's consistent,
Nemesis.
I think the only ride at Towers that is consistently good, no matter what time of the day you ride it, is Nemesis. Like it just is. Like I'd say Smiler's better the morning than the night. Well, no, actually, no. Actually, no. Sorry, scratch that. Smile is good either in the morning or the night because it gets so intense at night that it's not as rough. I think it's so fast that
because you can't see where you're going.
It skips over like the.
It skips over the
potholes.
it skips over the potholes.
Yeah. It skips over
It
it.
skips over the potholes.
Midday Smiler is
Sorry,
not a good
Towers.
move, man. But it's
speaking of
good.
potholes, Towers need to resurface their bloody road.
Oh yeah, that's quite bad actually.
Which
the
one?
road in.
The
going in
entire-
there?
Main road, the
Entrance
strip.
road. The main one is the one that leads off past the car park up towards the hotels. That is
Right.
such a bad road.
Yeah,
I swear my
Not
car's
most
gonna fall apart every time I drive.
that's just your car, mate. Not the
Ran
road.
over.
What I loved Parks and Pints recent vlog from Scarefest. If anyone's seen it, it's so funny because they both drove separately, and then they both had the same experience of like not having someone to direct them to a car parking spot. So then they like went the wrong way and then had to like reverse back all this way, and then someone in the comments went parking and pints.
Such
So
a
that's
simple
maybe
concept.
I
Yeah.
think my favorite story from from the Towers car park was
Hmm.
when our friend Blakey went, and apparently the attendants are having a bit of fun, and all the coloured cars went to one car park, all the black and white cars went to another. So if you drove a
They're
black and white car, you
They
had
are
a
very
massive
poor.
struggle to find your car afterwards.
Did the drone go up
Um,
afterwards by any chance?
Top tip of the day: if you're doing fireworks, go a little bit later on, and you'll get your park right next to the entrance.
See, it's weird because on busy days they were filling opposite. They were filling next to the entrance first, then
They were
getting
starting
to
front
go
to
the car
back.
park last.
Yeah.
It was
Normally
so
on
weird.
fireworks, I've had it where if you go there a bit later, they'll start filling up where the premium parking is, or whatever they call it.
Don't mind me
Don't mind
parking my car in this crate. Genuinely, Towers roads are so bad.
Yeah, they don't need to be that bad. There's a lot of traffic go through there every day. Yeah.
Okay, so shall we quickly do this before we end?
Oh,
I said mine.
I've not even thought about mine fully. Velocicoasters first. I don't.
I need to pull mine up because I've really forgot it.
This is a thing this is a thing as an enthusiast. I don't do it.
Oh no, I stand by mine.
I don't do it. I think I might give it more of an attempt with Vote Coasters starting CoasterBots channel at some point. So
mine's the most predictable ever. If you watch this
Funny.
podcast,
Velocicoaster. Velocicoaster.
nah,
Taron.
Yeah.
no.
Oh yeah,
number
it's
one-
Taron then it's
Wait,
Nah, it's not.
you
no.
haven't released the vlog yet, have you? So
Oh no, I
I
haven't
can-
actually.
I can
But I have
pretty
said
much-
it on the
pretty much-
podcast.
Yeah, you have said it. I can pretty much
Yeah.
say it, but I don't know if you want me to save it for the vlog or not.
Yeah, no. You tell me my top three.
Iron Gwazi, Velocicoaster, Taron.
Oh my god, you nailed it, bro.
Oh, was it Quasi? Okay.
Yeah, Grazi.
I knew Taron was up
Velocicoaster,
there.
and
And
Taron.
Velocicoaster, I just didn't know the actual
Yeah.
order.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But Velocicoaster knocked Taron off. But then, like I say, I haven't done Taron at night. And
Yeah.
sorry, James, but I will be basing it on night rides when I go. Because that's how I
I've-
experienced Velocicoaster.
Well, that's the thing. Mine is very, very limited because I've only done UK parks and one
Mm.
European park. So I'd say, yeah, mine is Fly, Taron, Nemesis.
I
Yeah.
have got so much fucking
Yeah.
unfinished business with Busch Gardens. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you do.
So my top 10 goes Iron Gwazi, Velocicoaster, Taron, Zardra, Shambhala, Troy, Kunda, Ride to Happiness, Untamed, the Earth of Conan. And then
Yeah.
Drunk
I thought
Riders
you said Year of the Card, and then I was like,
Drunk Riders gave me fucking so much shit for putting Earth of Conan in my top 10. And I'm like, bro, you just don't understand.
I think
Yeah,
mine will be.
they got bad rides on Conan.
Yeah, but they did, but Coast and Brews didn't. They fucking was it Coast and who was it? I think it was Coast and Brews.
I can't
It was
remember.
one of their crew.
Mm.
Really liked it.
I think mine's Velocicoaster, Shambhala, and Nemesis, top three.
Mm.
But next
But
year,
yeah, like what-
next year, me and Joe are prioritizing. It's happening. Me and Joe are doing a big US road trip next year.
Mm.
It's got to
Nice.
happen, man.
Yeah,
I need to get out.
yeah,
to, I need to get out to America so I can shit on some of their rides.
yeah,
That's the only reason.
yeah. I said mine being Velocicoaster, Zydra, Fury 325, like 1, 2, 3. But like, and they what was the second half of what James said. I suspect there'd be rides that are great anytime. I mean, of course they are. Like, but they are better at night. They are.
Yeah.
On all three of them, the first ride I had on them blew me away. Like comprehensively by any stretch of the imagination. That they blew me away. But I had no perspective on how they would be at night.
Yeah, you
because
don't, do you?
Because I hadn't ridden them at night yet.
Yeah, but you don't. You don't even think about it.
So like,
I didn't even talk about this.
It wasn't.
We didn't even talk about the fact that. So you didn't do Iron Gwazi, did you? Because of the
no, because
I was so
because of
excited
Ian.
to see what you would have thought of that.
believe me, so was I. You heard? Did I tell the story last?
Yeah, you
last
did.
time?
No, you did. I just
Yeah,
forgot.
you did. Yeah,
There's been a lot of
Right.
There's been a lot of shit going in my head. Right?
pretty much a wrap up
Legit.
soon.
Yeah. But
Legit.
no.
So I have unfinished business with Bush Tampa as well.
Yeah.
Same, bro. On our hit list.
I just
What's your top three, James? Quickly, you didn't say.
I did.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Fly, Taron, Nemesis.
Oh right, okay, cool.
Mm.
I suspect that might be pretty close to what mine.
I want to know
gonna
what you.
have to,
I you know what I'm curious about, Luke, is how you rate Black Mamba against Nemesis.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Ooh.
about
Yeah,
that.
If you can try and get. I'm not sure if they do. They don't do a front row for Black Mamba, do they?
They weren't doing it when I was there. They
Yeah.
have the space for it, but they weren't doing it.
Because the thing is with us, the first time we did Black Mamba, we got a front row, but it was by accident. By accident. We just got lucky.
Yeah.
And,
And I think I would have had a very different view of it if it wasn't. But because I love to do Nemesis front row, that's like my favorite row to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a
100%.
very easy comparison, and that was the first ride we did at Phantasialand in the morning. And I did it, and I was like, "Wow!" I didn't think anything would knock Nemesis off in vert wise, and yeah, it was fucking great.
And also
Nice.
on Black Mamba, I did like it either straight up doesn't have a front row specific queue, or they just weren't using it the last time I was there.
Marcus Gear said
But
back open these days.
the queue line that goes into the station, like you enter the station with the front row queue line right in front of you.
Yeah,
So you can just slot right in there. Like it's not like something like Nemesis or Nemesis Inferno where you enter at the back of the station and then the front row queue line is all the way, down at the other side of the station. You enter basically at the front row queue line.
can we just say a shout out to Marcus, because he does a whole thing Coaster Breaks. If you didn't know, if you want to experience like going on like coaster trips but with people, go check out Coaster Breaks, because genuinely, like, if this was years ago and I didn't have like my own little like a load of friends that I could go and book trips with to make it cheaper, Coaster Breaks is something I would have massively done. Like, it looks really good. He's always going on trips with people and stuff. So yeah, go check him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coaster Breaks. Cool. Anyway, right. I've got to go to bed. And because we're going to Scarefest tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, we're taking our nieces. It's like we do it every year now. For the last 3 years, where we take our nieces to Scarefest because they love it, and it's always really good seeing.
Oh, that was a good episode.
Yeah, that was good, man. I feel like we got everything out there. That's the thing.
fantastic.
When we don't do an episode for like 2 weeks, it builds up, and then we just like. Bleh.
Legit.
But let me just check my calendar.
That was good conversation.
Yeah, I'm free next week. So
Yep.
now on, I think from now on,
Mm-hmm.
we are all good. I've got a free run.
Nice. Awesome
We're
stuff.
back to top.
Guys, do us a favor. Share us on Twitter, share us on Facebook, share us around. Get
Like
the word
the
out
video.
there. Yeah, definitely like the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and follow us on the podcast formats as well.
And this weekend, it probably doesn't mean anything to anyone on here because they won't listen to the podcast after the fact. But the podcast are going on this weekend.
There you go.
Full upload. We'll get back to normal.
Nice.
Because I feel better about that. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, we will. But please do share us around, guys. Really appreciate it. Tag us as well. Make some clips. Do whatever you want to do with the podcast, because we like the content and we like the interaction with you guys as well. It's one of the main reasons why we do it. It's to talk to you guys and open a conversation up. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll be back next week. 51. 50 episodes, guys. Well done.
51 years old.
50 years old.
84 years.
84.
You can do that. When we get to 84, you can start the podcast with that. You get a wig and everything, and you can throw your necklace.
Yeah.
Proper go for it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. Hey, hold on. Who's doing the outro? You doing the outro?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
All right, guys. See
See you later. Bye.